Live from the Toad Hop Network studios.
In Hollywood, this is the ToadHopNetwork.com.
It is strongly addictive.
Radio worth watching.
Radio worth watching.
Not the run into the studio, Christian's barking orders. Mark Ellis is screaming, putting his hat on backwards, which we love him.
Well, Mark usually just sits there and drinks caffeine. He can't even take one for the team and actually have a beer like a man.
Right, and we'll get some beer going later. What's going on?
I don't know what you mean by later.
You already... Josh the intern, step on in here and explain to me, number one, why I don't have a beer. I'm feeling like Harloff.
There was actually only 2 cups left.
There was only 2 cups? Well,
really?
No. You have your beer, and I'm glad you gave the first one to Katee. That's a gentleman thing to do.
It was very nice. And then one for himself. I've just been tested. I have nothing if you want something. Literally nothing.
That's a good way to share beer.
I don't know if it's STDs. I don't know if it's SATs. It's a completely different thing.
Would you like to share my beer? I have just been tested.
I have just been tested. I have nothing.
It is.
Yeah, right? It's like I just voted. I was just tested. Nothing. Right?
This is going to be a fun show because the inmates are running the asylum here. You get to make all the dragon sounds you want tonight. There we go. There you go. Someone's already tweeting. Christian's not here. Well, that explains why it's so quiet in the studio. What's going on is Mark and Christian are down the street at a Red Dawn screening because they get to go to the movies before us common folk. So they're down at a screening, and they're going to come back, hopefully by the 9 o'clock hour, and they're going to do a live podcast exclusive live review of Red Dawn right here in the studio, the remake.
And I'm totally excited. You have not seen Red Dawn.
I haven't seen Red Dawn.
And explain to me...
we're talking the original.
Explain to Schmoeville why this is.
Well, Katee, you see, I don't know, you were raised on a farm in Oregon, right, or something like that?
Well, close enough. Let's call it a farm.
Oregon's a farm as a whole.
It was a pot farm, but it's
a farm nonetheless.
It was a farm. It was a working farm.
Hey, people got to make a living somehow. Hey, no judgment here.
None.
I was raised in a small town in the central coast of California by Pismo Beach. I was raised in Pismo Beach, actually. Why am I saying near Pismo Beach?
Pismo Beach, drive on beach.
Absolutely.
Only in California.
I spent my childhood in a Volkswagen van on the beach digging for clams.
Were you born in a Volkswagen van down by the river?
But I might have been made in a Volkswagen van.
Your middle name is just VW.
My middle name is Farfignugan, which I'll tell you about what that means.
Because that's what, oh my God. Could you imagine if your name was fucking Farfignugan? I'm German. I'm sorry.
That does sound like a German name.
Right?
Your name was fucking Farfignugan. That's actually the better one. Purple cocksock. I was raised in a small town in the central coast of California by some very loving, caring, overprotective, conservative Christian parents. And I don't begrudge my upbringing. I do not at all. But they did not allow me to see any big movie in the 80s outside of Star Wars, Little Indiana Jones. The Temple of Doom, my father was like, never again. That was the heart thing.
It was that heart thing scared the shit out of most kids, by the way. But I, however, saw Red Dawn. I grew up in a house with very little television, but we got to watch VHS, and it was kind of like whatever Dad wanted to watch. So it was like, no, you're not watching Princess Bride, you're watching fucking Red Dawn.
So it really had nothing to do with the content. Just Daddy wants to watch some shooting tonight.
Daddy's watching some shit blow up.
But Daddy, Princess Buttercup is nope. Shooting. Russians are coming.
Andre the Giant's in it. I don't give a shit. We're watching shit blow up.
We're watching that. And what's funny is I've never corrected the mistake. Never seen Gremlins to this day.
You've never seen Gremlins?
Never seen Gremlins because those are little devils.
They are little devils.
So I to this day I was talking to Josh earlier today. My subconscious has just not allowed me.
Right.
To go into that mode where I could, go against my parents' wishes.
It's amazing how childhood and how movies influence us as adults. Like, I actually had the same thought coming from Gremlins, actually. Doesn't look like it at all, but once I realized that my dog was the spawn of Satan, I wanted to call it Gremlin. That was just kind of what I wanted to do.
See, and that's probably where my parents are like, you can't.
What I was shocked what you told me was like, I can understand Gremlins because it's like little demons, and I can see Mom being a little... of that, but you named off movies like Goonies to me.
Goonies, because they weren't sure. They weren't sure. They had their eye on it. Like, there's some little rapscallions running around. There's some sloth guy. We don't know.
They made this off the coast of Oregon. It's so nice.
Yeah, I mean,
it is.
My He-Man toys were taken from me at one point because my mom and dad realized that the He-Man universe kind of had some demon-type characters. I came home one day, all my He-Man figures gone in a box.
How'd they feel
on.
about shirt tails? Those are fucking animals that talk. That's some crazy shit.
Some demonic shit.
Yeah, that's some
satanic
stuff.
shit.
So long story short, I haven't seen Red Dawn, the original.
I have. I can't believe they've remade it.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I don't know. You know, I think it comes back to what we said last week. Is I don't know why they keep remaking these things instead of just re-release them.
Right.
I think that it would be great to go back as I don't know. Do you think that children, with as far as technology has gone, do you think that they would actually find it interesting or just as entertaining to go back and watch Red Dawn, the original, because it's special effects are we've gotten a lot more advanced.
I think that's part of the reason that they remake a lot of these things is the quality of filmmaking now has changed. It's gone. I always say Nolanized, and I don't just mean Christopher Nolan. I just mean things are more realistic. Look at even Bond. I saw Skyfall last night, and that's like such a realistic take on that kind of.
Was it amazing?
It was absolutely amazing. And I've been singing Adele's song all day, like some kind
great
of
song. I heard that the other day. What a fucking brilliant
and it fits,
talent.
like Harloff said in the review, it fits in so perfectly with the opening. It's a great opening. I'm going to have to see Skyfall again if my mom and dad will let me. We'll see.
I got tore up on Twitter because I was not a huge fan of Skyfall.
Really?
Here's the thing. I love the movie.
Yeah.
I think as a Sam Mendes film, I would probably be my favorite movie of the year. But for me, maybe it's just because I'm not as familiar with Bond in the past movies. But like Casino Royale had a perfect pacing. It had action.
Yeah.
It had tension. I felt like Skyfall was like really slow in some places, and the pacing was just kind of off.
I hear your point. What do you mean you are not familiar with Bond?
Okay.
Explain yourself,
well, listen, my
Schmoes.
first Bond was GoldenEye. Like, is that,
Okay.
I was growing up right around that
How
time.
old are you?
I'm breaking 30.
Okay. All right.
So, like, I don't know. Like, I was into Indiana Jones. I was into Star Wars.
Okay.
But I just never really got into, like, the old Sean Connery Bond.
You've never seen a Sean Connery Bond?
No, I have seen Goldfinger.
Okay. All right. Goldenfinger. I love
Goldenfinger,
the way
yeah.
that you say it like it's a
I almost
fucking
said-
dirty word.
I almost said GoldenEye again. That's why.
You did?
My brain is like, when I hear
Because
gold,
you know
Bond,
you're
I
thinking
think
Golden Finger. You're thinking...
Hey.
right.
GoldenEye was actually my
You are
favorite
now.
Bond for a while because of the Nintendo 64 video game.
okay.
Like, I just confused the two. They were the same thing, right?
Right. I agree. I never played the
Someone
video
made a
game.
good point here. Jesse Green, at Jesse Green 619, pointed out that your dad made you a badass by watching those movies.
You know, it's actually been said many, many times that I think that I have the career that I have because my father made me obsessed with these action movies. And it was like, Dad, I want to watch Care Bears. And he's like, how about we watch Predator and don't tell your mother?
Gonna have me some fun.
And
Gonna have me some fun.
So I grew up obsessed with this shit where things blow up and people die and it's amazing and it's realistic and
It's perfect. I mean, like, if not for your father, you'd be on one of those movie posters with your arms crossed, leaning up against Gerard Butler, going, you know.
it's totally true. I would have
yeah.
been in like Idle Hands when I
Right.
moved here instead of Battlestar Galactica.
I
It's a
see
very
you,
different
like,
career.
being the badass girl on the playground. I can see you, like, falling, scraping your knee, and you're, like, quoting Jesse Ventura saying, I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
Let's
no,
dive
really,
into that a
boys
little
like,
bit.
what?
How were you on the playground as a kid? Were you like, hey, round up the troops, we're playing G.I. Joe today,
Yeah.
everybody, I'm Baroness.
I actually remember going out to the like getting off of the jungle gym stuff, you know, because I was also a gymnast, so I was like, I could do this better than anybody. But I would go out when I was like 5 or 6 years old, out to like the field and make up dances to
By
New Kids
yourself?
on the Block. Yeah,
It's like Footloose.
yeah.
So let's picture this.
Yeah.
A pot farm in Oregon, a school nearby.
My mom's a teacher at the school.
Her mom's a teacher. There's little Katie. She's off in the field making up dances to.
You having
New Kids
flashbacks
on
of
the
Footloose
Block.
and Kevin Bacon's, like, going through the
Thank God,
warehouse.
it's true. Thank God, my brother was a complete badass and got in so much trouble because his reputation preceded me when I went into school. They were like, "You're a Sackhoff." Shit, and I immediately just became cool because my brother was cool. So thank God because I wasn't.
I didn't have that. My poor sister had to realize. Oh, you're the nerd's brother. Oh, okay. Okay, the little weird guy writing G.I. Joe novellas in the corner. Like this week.
G.I. Joe novella.
This week, Duke, you're going to be Duke, and this week your mission is.
I did
my
that stuff.
life.
I played teacher out in the. God, that sounds so horrible. I played teacher at school. It was like I was getting molested. I played teacher like all the time by myself, like in the field. I would like make shit up with my school supplies and like pretend and like.
And that is how you become a badass popular cult favorite actress. You're in the fields by yourself, just conducting classes, doing dance step. That's how you do it,
Those
kids.
dance steps are how I learned fight choreography so well. I see New Kids on the Block in my head, and I'm like, step by step, backhand, uppercut.
Just let it go. Everybody, let's get that on tape. We'll record. We'll play that later. Patrick Hogue tweets in, Katee Sackhoff equals Katniss Everdeen, kind of an adult version from the Hunger Games series. Maybe
Awesome.
a little bit. We'd throw you into a fight to the death game, and you'd probably come out on top. I'd put my money on you.
I would put my money on me.
Absolutely.
Not really.
That's why you're confident.
No, I'm a complete, total pansy in real life. If
Really?
anybody, oh yeah, please.
no.
I don't like to break nails. I whine at the gym. My trainer's got to hold a carrot in front of me.
I was going to take you into a fight or two. That's not good.
Right? Someone actually said to me, what would happen if I actually was locked in a cage with Gina? I said I would climb to the top of the cage and cry and pray that she couldn't climb things.
Because we're talking about Gina Carano,
Yes.
who's going to be starring with you in the Female Expendables movie coming down the line, right?
Yeah, and it's so funny because everyone keeps calling it the Female Expendables, but it
Yeah,
has
what should we
nothing
call
to
it?
do with Expendables.
Hey, look, this is
It's just a movie with a bunch of women.
and
that
it
are kicking
confuses
ass.
it with the other project, which is a supposed offshoot, the
Right.
Expendables, which ugh.
Right.
Look, so maybe the Sackhoff Carano fight will finally happen.
I think it'd be fun. I'd be so worried she'd actually punch me in the face, though. I'd be like, not the face, not the face.
moneymaker.
Hey,
Not the
speaking
moneymaker.
of being punched in the face, last week on the podcast we had WWE legend
Yeah.
Roddy Piper here talking about the They Live Blu-ray release, and in the middle of it all, he slapped Josh the intern.
Yeah, I gotta
How
say,
are you doing, buddy?
He slapped you hard, buddy. Your eyeballs
didn't.
almost popped out of your head.
I didn't see it coming. If you know wrestling, you know there's a history of wrestlers going off on people.
Absolutely.
And I was aware of that. 'cause I
Dr.
grew
David
up-
Schultz on John Stossel in the
He,
hallway.
slapped some reporter.
Yeah.
All around the hallway.
And his hands, I've actually been in a match with him. I've actually been punched by Roddy Piper. My face is swollen for 3 days after it. He punched me right here.
Have you really?
I have. And it is his hand. Next time you're next to him, his hands are just these rocks, these giant Thanksgiving Day turkey size
Hammers.
things.
They are. He's got so much. It looks like after all that fighting and everything, there's just so much arthritis. And it's just like the hands just look like they could cause pain and are painful.
Absolutely. And he can still go. And he popped me. And then afterwards, he said, "You okay?" And I was like, and just 3 days later, out to here. So I know the pain you're feeling.
Yeah.
How did you recover? But a couple days later, it was the greatest moment of my life. I'm sure it was the greatest moment of yours up till now, right?
It was great. I mean, I have a friend in Florida who's a huge wrestling fan, biggest wrestling fan I know. And right after it happened, I called him, and I didn't tell him it was a prank. I told him, dude, I pissed Piper off. He nailed me.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
So what did he see it? Did he watch it?
Yeah, he watched it, and he called me back. He's just like, oh, you had me. I thought Piper was going to kill you. And he was just like, oh,
A lot of people
so
did.
lucky. Yeah, I
Did
was
they
convinced
really?
of the
Like it
tweets.
was very convincing. You were convincing.
I was
You
And
convinced.
Jeff the engineer was the only other person in the room who kind of didn't know what was going on.
didn't know. Really?
And poor Jeff, and you control the situation. You sent us right to break with some we're having technical difficulties.
I think it's hysterical that you sent us right to break. That was really great. I watched laughing and was like, I need some more beer for this.
My biggest worry was the only way out of this room was between Roddy Piper and the door.
Yeah.
I was like,
And you were in that corner.
yeah. And Christian got up, and I was like, Christian's not going to be able to stop Piper.
Which is awesome.
He's
And
going to tear right through Christian.
and a
He tore
fact.
right
You're like,
through
my
me.
only hope is Katie.
And,
like,
and as you would have learned, Katie was not good in a fight. She would have been
No,
like,
I would have cried.
I would have went for the knees and just held on like Jeff Van Gundy did.
For the knees, that's quite mean. Going for the knees.
And it would have been a wraparound like a 2-year-old on a father's leg.
what?
It would've just
What
wrapped
was
around
that
it.
moment like because when he slapped you, you kind of laughed.
Yeah, because I thought it was, I didn't really think he was mad because I
Right.
didn't really think of what I was saying. And then when I backed up, it wasn't until Christian got up and then Rowdy got up
Right.
and kind of just gave me the death stare, which was like, I just saw my life flash from my eyes. I mean, you see those things in TV shows, like you see these wrestlers get those crazy faces. Mm-hmm. It's one thing seeing on TV. It's one thing when it's right in your face.
Well, especially
directed
because on
towards you.
TV it's fake.
Yeah.
And in here, it was,
It wasn't fake.
Yeah.
wildly real.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's fake.
No, you're.
It's
a
like my
contr-
my TED spoiler. People are going to be like, wrestling's fake.
Yeah, some 5-year-olds watching like, no.
Yeah. So how did you? Because your eyes were like glazed over. Like you
was
looked
shocked.
shocked. You went through the most amazing series of emotions I've ever seen. I can't wait to watch it again because God knows this is how I learn how to like act in certain moments. I'm going to call it the Josh.
Yeah.
In a moment at some point.
I'll be watching Riddick. I'm like, oh yeah.
It's going to be like the new Michael Caine acting video series. It's going to be the Katee Sackhoff, the Josh series of acting courses.
I joshed it.
Yeah.
I joshed the shit out of that moment.
Tarantino's gonna be like, we need a Josh in the shot.
Right?
And then
like a Josh-esque moment.
And you, Miss Sackhoff, had to hold it together. It looked like you wanted to help that poor boy.
You know, I knew that it was going to happen, but for the first like 5 seconds, I'd forgotten it was going to happen, and I knew it was going to happen before. I knew it was going to happen like 5 seconds, like 10 seconds before I was waiting for it. 5 seconds. Once it happened, I forgot about it.
Right.
And was like, oh my God, this poor. And then I felt so bad for you because you looked like you were heartbroken.
Well, yeah. I mean, at first it was just fear. Then it moved on to, oh my God, I think I just ruined the show.
Yeah.
And then I went to me like trying to throw Kristian under the bus because I was like, these are the questions Kristian told me to ask.
Yeah, I loved that. Was the best part was that you actually threw him under the bus. Like,
so I was like, I gotta protect myself. I was like, listen, I was just asking questions. It's not my fault.
Well, let's see how fast you turn.
What was supposed
my boss told me to do that.
What was supposed to happen is we were supposed to do that in the green room, and that's why we had your camera set up there, and I was taken to the green room, but Rod is a man of his word, and he says he's going to be there, and he showed up to our gig after doing 6 hours of media work that day, and he was exhausted.
He had a really hard day and was really exhausted.
He turns into Piper. He goes from Rod Toombs to Piper, and he puts on that show, and he never not puts on that show for the people, for the fans. So he needed some moments alone. It was going to happen in there, which I'm so glad it happened on the air because that means we got Jeff too.
It was amazing.
Thrown in the bus.
It was amazing, and what a nice, kind soul he was.
He really had. He really is. And I've like I said, I worked with him in the wrestling side of things. And after we did a big show and 300 people waiting for him, he waited till every last person was gone and got a chance to say hi to him.
That's amazing.
That's
I
the kind of guy
never
he is.
do that.
And one time I said to him, I go, Rod, sit down. You're getting tired. He goes, no, not for these people. Not for these people.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
that's fantastic.
we love Rod in Schmoeville, and I hope Schmoeville loves Rod. We're going to do news right now. I'm going to do some news. We're going to talk about...
I'm going to drink my beer.
That. Go for it. Drink away. I'm Ken Napzok, and these are your Schmoes Know headlines. Skyfall. James Bond is dominating the box office. After setting records in the UK, the wacky misadventures of a British secret agent opened up to nearly $90 million in the United States. This puts the film well over $500 million worldwide. When reached for a comment, James Cameron said, call me when you get to your first billion. As we talked about last week, Michael Arndt has been officially hired to write Star Wars Episode 7. The Toy Story 3 and Little Miss Sunshine Academy Award-winning screenwriter said to already be in story conferences with Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas. And in a Schmoes Know exclusive, here is a secret transcript of part of that conference. George, we discussed this. You sit in the corner. And you be quiet, George. You have no say in this. And the great Star Wars director sweepstakes has 3 less names playing along. Steven Spielberg, director of Hook, 1941, and the Columbo episode Murder by the Book, has proclaimed that Star Wars is, quote, not his genre. That's my friend George's genre. Translation, only I wanted Shia LaBeouf as Han Solo. Man of Steel director Zack Snyder says he is a huge fan of the franchise and really wants to see Episode 7, just not from behind the director chair. And Quentin Tarantino claims he couldn't care less about a Disney-fied Star Wars. So there goes our chance to see Darth Bear Jew. Insidious and Saw director James Wan has been tapped by New Line Cinema to direct a film adaptation of MacGyver. That's right, MacGyver. Several sites reporting this week that a Jason Richmond script is beginning a little work by Brian and Mark Gunn and will be ready for the torture porn director. Saw to MacGyver seems like a leap into recall all those nifty devices Richard Dean Anderson built as MacGyver, right? Now Saw seems like a MacGyver spin-off. I'm Ken Napzok, and those are your Schmoes Know headlines.
Wow,
a lot of news.
I gotta say, call me kooky. I'm excited to see MacGyver.
We had MacGruber. I feel like that was the same thing.
Well, interesting. The filmmakers getting this project ready, the rumor was that they tried to shut down MacGruber, the film, when they heard it was coming out.
Well, listen, I think that the best, God, I'm not going to remember this form of flattery is when somebody actually makes fun of you. I think it's fantastic. And I think that MacGyver was one of the best shows on television. I loved it. I love Richard Dean Anderson. I think he's amazing. And I think that if done well, not a la A-Team, I think that this could actually be, if they take it seriously, but not, take it seriously. Like, turn it into a dark, crazy thing.
Now you have a chance to actually kind of explore this crazy.
Don't make it tongue in cheek. Like, actually take it seriously and
But yeah, that's so. Gosh, I just think of Patty and Selma on The Simpsons. They're probably happy with Richard Dean Anderson getting the moment. Yeah, that's an interesting. That they're next. We're going to the Fall Guy movie. Why not just mine everything from the '80s? But your point's valid. You could still take the property and make it into something legit and realistic, and have a fun world to play around with.
You can. I think that you can't. I got this. I only had a half a beer. I'm fine.
Give it another one.
Woo! You can't just think that the name is going to carry you, because it's not going to. You have to actually make a good product, and then people, because word of mouth is going to. The name of the title may get their butts in the seats the first couple days, but it's not going to keep them going.
It's like stand-up comedy. Hey, Jack Nicholson takes a stage. Colin Quinn tells that great story. Nicholson takes a stage. If he's not funny after the first 5 minutes, we don't care if you're Nicholson. We're here to see a performance, and so MacGyver. It's got to be good.
You said that so much better than I did.
MacGyver just never crossed my mind.
That's because the intern hasn't given me beer.
This is why I don't host. This is why I laugh in the corner and just drink beer.
And what a laugh it is.
Well, thank you.
What a laugh it is.
Thanks.
We're going to go to break here in a couple minutes. I want to take some time to focus on the schmoesknow.com website. Katee, have you ever visited the schmoesknow.com website?
Yes.
Sure you have. Every day. It's the first thing you do.
I believe that.
The site has been up for a very long time, and it is currently going on a very kind of a remodel / expansion. We have a great group of writers being added to the website. Matt Keyes doing his column called Hero Schmiro. We got Joe Writes Words with Joe Ruggiero. Dan Farron's being brought in, an old friend of mine from the wrestling world and the movie world, writing some great tales. Chip Dornell, a great stand-up comic, and one of the authors of the book, The Guide to the Simpsons. They're on the site. I want you all to check it out, schmoesknow.com. Check out the articles. We put one up this week from Joe Ruggiero about his viewing Prometheus months after it came out. It's a fun series. So that's something I want you all to check out, okay?
Yeah,
okay, Josh?
It's great.
Josh, what are we watching? Oh, we're looking at their website. We're going to the website. Yeah. I've seen Prometheus.
On the other side of this break,
got to go to the website.
We will make fun of the Schmoes. I'm Ken Napzok for Katee Sackhoff, Josh the Intern.
Woo!
Come on back.
Schmoeville, as the masters are suffering through Red Dawn, I'm suffering listening to Ken and Napzok. Yuck! Gollum. But at least my ears have the lovely Katee Sackhoff to listen to. So nice, so lovely, want to hug. And then Ken comes in and ruins us. Come back soon, masters. Come back soon. And now, back to the show.
That sounds like most of my first dates. I'm stuck here listening to Kenny Napzok.
Wow!
That's what it is.
It amazes me every time I hear that guy's voice. It takes me back.
Yeah. Oh, we're almost back. We're back to the Hobbit inside a month.
I'm
excited about that.
Are you excited?
I'm a Lord of the Rings movie buff guy. I might wait in a line. You wanted to wait in a line.
Oh, I totally did.
Tell us about that.
How bad I wanted to camp out to see the last Twilight, I can't explain.
Josh, his heart just broke worse than the Piper thing.
I wanted to pitch my North Face tent and climb into my Princess of Disneyland sleeping bag and wait for the fucking Twilight.
Are you a fan of the series? Have you seen it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Come on, people. I watch every weird little cheesy kid movie that there is. Did you know that there has been 4 cutting-edge movies? 4.
I've seen the first one.
4.
I love the first one. That's one of the movies I was allowed to see.
Yeah.
Moira Kelly at her best.
Amazing movie, right?
Absolutely.
Amazing
Absolutely.
movie. Makes me happy. I worked with D.B. Sweeney. I almost shit in my pants.
I love D.B. Sweeney because of that and 8 Men Out. But
he waterboarded me in 24. I was like, this is a dream come true.
This is almost like ice skating.
This is amazing. There's water involved. It's amazing. This is like if the ring get thawed. It's in my face.
Cutting Edge is one of those movies that I think a lot of guys secretly like. They're like, all right, I've cried
You're
at it.
kind of allowed to like it because the guy was a hockey player and he's like, Like a good old small town guy that like works at his brother owns a bar and shit.
And I said Moira Kelly was awesome in that movie. Just one of her, her top performance. Just looked her best, was acting her best, and just that character that a lot of guys who are creative guys like, that feisty girl that they just want to mold into this little princess. It's probably why I have a lot of romantic failures in my life. All right,
that was Gabriel. What was the lead girl's name in that freaking movie in Cutting Edge? Help me out, people. Help me out.
The skater. Other than Moira Kelly was the main one. You're talking about.
Moira Kelly wasn't the main one.
Yeah, she was.
No, she wasn't.
She was.
No, she wasn't.
Look it up.
No, she wasn't. Look it up. Look that shit up.
No, look it up.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
It's a bonus.
Sounds like a bet.
It is a bet. I bet you $20 that Moira was not the skater in that movie.
If I had $20 in that,
sure you want to do that?
I'd do it.
Yes.
Moira Kelly.
She was not the skater in that movie. She was the rich. No, she was not the skater. No.
She was the.
Yeah. Nope. According to IMDb.
She was the one who skated with D.B. Sweeney.
She's the Olympic skater.
Oh my God! You know what's so funny is when you said Moira, I was thinking Tierney. I was like, she's not
Moira
in that fucking...
Tierney. Yeah, news radio. No,
Moira
absolutely
Kelly,
not.
you're right.
Absolutely.
I owe you $20.
All right, I won't. I won't
win.
collect.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fucking fine. I got it. Shut up.
Yep, I'm getting people backing me on
Leave
that.
me alone. It's true.
We're going to take some calls from Schmoeville here, too. Let me take a call right now and see what we got. Hey, welcome to Schmoeville. You are on.
Hello there.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello there. Who's this?
Who we got?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Who's this?
Good. This is Patrick from New York.
Patrick from New York. How you doing?
Yes. I am fantastic. And Katie, I just want to start off by saying I am a huge fan, and you are absolutely incredible.
Thank you. I'm like, thank you.
That's not very
amazing.
badass. That's not very Starbuck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patrick, what's on your mind tonight other than that?
I read a story today that in front of the Hobbit, they're going to be, in front of IMAX screenings of the Hobbit, they're going to be showing 9 minutes of Star Trek 2, and I just wanted to hear your opinions on Star Trek 2 and J.J. Abrams being all secret about it, and if you're excited or not.
I personally am excited. I am more of a Star Wars nerd than I am a Star Trek nerd, but the J.J. Abrams reboot totally got me on board, and I loved every minute of it. Other than the time travel thing, it kind of got a little weird at the end. Maybe the second half wasn't as good, but I was on board, and so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they take it.
I would go 9 minutes early to the movie just to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be amazing. I have a bone to pick with JJ because every time I have read for him, he has not hired me.
You're not backing into his cars in parking lots, are you?
No. Maybe I should. Maybe I should back into his car. I'd get a job. But no, I'm excited. I think that what he did with that world is great. I'm such a huge Carl Urban fan that I would watch paint dry if he was paint.
Yeah, he Bones just nailed it. He's great in Lord of the Rings. It's a tie-in there.
That's true.
He's great as Vaco in Riddick. Let's just bring it all back home.
It's all
bring it on home
it's
to
all
me.
Connecting up.
Me.
And let's go. It's all about. It's Hollywood. We
Thank you
expect
for
that.
calling in, by the way. That was awesome.
Patrick. Who we got now on Schmoeville? Calling from the 914.
Hey, it's George, guys. What's up?
Georgie.
What up,
Georgie
George?
McCann. How you doing, Georgie?
Hey, I'm good. So I was, what was I calling about?
I don't know, George.
Don't know, George.
Oh, no, I saw that Tom Hardy was going to be cast as the lead character in the Splinter Cell movie.
Oh, yeah, that broke today, yeah.
And, sorry, what?
Yeah, that broke today.
That broke today, yeah. I saw it.
News.
I saw it on the internets today.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a perfect pick for that character and that. But the only thing that worries me about that is I don't picture Tom Hardy as like a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible franchise actor, and I hope he doesn't go down that direction because I think he does really well with kind of like his indie film, some of his more. Well, his lesser known stuff like Lawless, I thought was phenomenal,
right.
and Warrior wasn't big until people didn't know a lot about it till it came out and really started picking up steam. So,
and I love but hey, he's on a roll right now as an actor, and let's follow him on the journey and see where he goes.
I agree. I think Tom Hardy is one of the best actors that's come out, especially action guys. You know, I know we've talked about this a lot in Schmoeville, that you know, talking about believable male actors in action movies, and I think that Tom Hardy is one of those guys that actually women love and guys love. It's believable,
right?
And I think you could watch him do anything. You know, if he wants to get into a big franchise or do his little indie movies, I think regardless, he's had a phenomenal run so far, and people seem to enjoy watching him, and he's doing a great job.
And I think that's one of the key points is we guys got to feel like, I want to have a beer with that guy. I'll go see that movie. I don't care if he's prettier and buffer than me. That's kind of one of the
because you know what it comes down to. He's not prettier. He's rough. You know, that's the thing about Tom Hardy is he's got this, like, I've been punched in the face a couple times, and he's still cute. You know, I mean, you may not think so, but
no,
you know, whatever.
I could definitely appreciate that. Come on, I hit the gym enough to look at him in Batman and go, I really want those shoulders. Okay, hey George. Well, before we let you go, I don't know if we had a chance to talk to you yet. You had a great picture. We put it on the Schmoeville page, the Facebook page, of you and Daniel Craig. How? Tell us about that, man. How did that come down? It's a great picture. He had his little mustache going and a newsy beanie on.
He was doing a play. I live in New York, and he was doing a play called The Steady Rain, which he's actually rumored to be doing the film adaptation of. And I was down in the city trying to get tickets to A Steady Rain and couldn't get tickets. And he was pulling up to go into the stage door, and I saw him, and I said, Mr. Craig, when I meet famous people, I always feel it's very rude to call them by their first name. So I say Mr. I use their last name more often than not. But that's besides the point. I said, Mr. Craig, I'd be honored. Could I get a picture with you? And he said, absolutely. And he took a picture on a really crappy camera phone I had. And he said, I said thank you. And he said, now I got to go to work, and he went in the stage door, and he was just super nice, really cool guy.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
that's
George.
really, really, really
Thanks
cool,
for that story, George. I'm sure you called it good. Thank you, George.
Thanks.
That's great. I love to hear that about Daniel Craig because you kind of watch him in these movies, and he's kind of a guy you're automatically scared of. Like if I ran into him, I'd be like, that guy's going to kick my ass.
Really?
I just get that feeling.
I wouldn't at all. Isn't that funny how guys see that side of him, and I see the side of him? I'm like, I would love to
you see the
find
side,
him.
Yeah, you're the Lost on the Island with him.
Well, I am lost on the island with him.
We're all lost on the island.
He would be my
way.
peanut butter. It's totally fine.
Pause to take that, Schmoeville. Speaking of people that I myself get lost in, Marion Cotillard is one of my all-time favorites. And I had an opportunity. This is the story. Harloff goes, hey, you want to go interview her? That's how all my calls with Harloff go. Hey, you want to go do this? And I couldn't get out to go see this movie and interview her. So we said, let's send the kid in. The kid in. So Josh, the intern, tell us what you saw her in and what happened.
I went to a screening. It's called Rust and Bone. It's about the same director who did The Prophet, which was up for Academy Award about 2 years ago. It was like a mafia movie that took place in jail. He's doing a little smaller film, so Rust and Bone. It's about a girl. It's kind of a crazy plot. Basically, Marion plays a girl she gets her legs eaten by a shark. No, a shark, killer whale. Because she works at SeaWorld.
Okay. All right.
And it's a crazy plot.
Shamu took a bite.
Listen, I mean, it's happened.
Yeah.
It happened just
in
Shamu where he
took her to the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why they're called killer whales.
So it's about the story of the girl who's trying to, get her life back together after this accident. Mm-hmm. And then she meets this guy who's like, he's not even a boxer. He does like street fights for money.
Wow.
Straight up like UFC, but in the back of a
like
construction yard.
UFC.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a very dark, kind of gritty film.
Because you say Shamu, I don't see dark gritty.
I know. It's like, and it was weird because when the Shamu scene in the movie happens, like Katy Perry's music's blaring because she works at SeaWorld.
Katy Perry works at SeaWorld?
No, but they play the music like during the show.
What universe is this movie in?
This
is all over the place.
Lost.
What's it called? It's called Rust and Bone.
It's called Rust and Bone.
Because she's a really serious actress.
Yeah,
like all I can see is her in a wetsuit now. Playing with Shamu. I'm having a hard time with this movie. I don't know where I'm
Katy
going.
Perry,
With
waking
Katy
up
Perry
in Vegas.
When I read the synopsis, I was like, what is this?
We have a clip of you. You got a question off,
Fantastic.
and Jeff the engineer is going to fire that up now. Let's take a listen.
Let's do it.
My name is Josh. I'm from Schmoes Know Podcast.
A lot of my listeners know you mainly from Lviv and Rose, and most recently Dark Knight Rises and Inception, which are big-scale Hollywood blockbusters. And my question is, how is it changing from a smaller film like this that's much more emotional and character-based? If that's something you were seeking in your career, just to like try to get more independent films?
Well, I feel very lucky that I can travel from one very special universe to another very special universe. My experience in Hollywood with a big blockbuster, though, is very special too, because it's a blockbuster directed, written, produced by Christopher Nolan, who's not a studio director in terms of, I had some proposition of like big movies, and I met the director, and I thought, this guy is just here because they need a director, but it's not the most important thing in his life to tell this story. And I need to work with directors who have the need to tell a story.
It goes on and on and on. She's a great interview. You just pull that string and she just talks.
She, all I can think is I've been in her shoes, and I feel so bad for that poor woman because she sounds so sick, and she has been on this press tour forever, and she is she sounds terribly ill.
I'm glad we got the audio, because as soon as she started talking to me, she kind of just stared right in my eyes, and I just kind of faded away. I was just lost in her eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
She's a stunningly beautiful woman, and that accent just makes you want to.
I love her in Public Enemies. I know a lot of people don't like that movie, but I'm a big fan of that book by Brian Burroughs, and I thought Michael Mann did a good job, but I thought she was the core of that movie alongside Johnny Depp.
Let me just say the movie is kind of different. It is a French film, which means it's very gritty. There's a lot of nudity, so that's a plus.
I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there.
You had me at that.
I knew I had to take my clothes off. Damn it.
If you could find it, which is probably won't be easy, it's probably playing like New York and LA.
Right.
I would recommend seeing it if that's your kind of thing.
I think that I love.
If nudity is my kind of thing, is that what you say?
You want to see Marion Cotillard naked? It is a good movie.
Tell you what, I'll call my mom and dad and see if it's okay.
You check. I personally, I don't care to, like, I'm not going to seek her out to see her nude, but you had me with Shamu eating people. Yeah. I mean,
wait, was she naked while that was happening?
No.
Did it rip her wetsuit off? Shamu.
Is this a Skinamax movie? Yeah. Did you see the wrong? Did you go to the wrong screening?
This is
did
not
you take
good.
a left
I'm telling you,
when you're supposed to go right?
It was different, and I was like, the first half of the movie, I was like, I don't know where this thing is going.
Second half of the movie, he had a hard on, and he realized he had to leave.
It turns out the rest of the movie was all in Josh's head. He didn't know.
No idea.
He's like, then they were eating candy in a candy land, and it was magical.
It's amazing. It was like two different movies. It was fantastic. I love it.
It was like Cloud Atlas, but with
amazing.
French nudity.
With French nudity, which is actual nudity.
Which is slightly different from American nudity.
You see the vajouge.
Is that the French term? The vajouge. You come up with the best terms.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They all have to start with V and have a Z in it, and then you're good.
And purple cocksock. Let's take a call from Schmoeville. From the 917. You are in Schmoeville. Who you got? What you got?
Hey, guys. It's Matt.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Well, first of all, I gotta say, I think even with that cold, Marion Cotillard sounds sexy.
Hey, a little raspy works for me. You know what I mean?
But I've actually got a question for Katee, kind of off topic. I wanted to ask this the other week, but they had the guest on. A couple weeks ago, we had, it was the Halloween, and I was doing my scary movie marathons, and I came across Halloween Resurrection with Katee
Did you
Sackhoff.
now? Yeah, you did.
And I want to put this lightly. It wasn't a good movie.
No, listen. You're allowed to say that. It's totally fine. You can't win them all. It's totally fine.
You can't win them all, but you can cash those checks.
All right. So horrible movie. Got it. Check. What else? What else you got for me?
I was wondering, when you're an actress in one of those movies and you're starting out, are you ever aware during the process that you're making a terrible movie, or are you thinking, like, this is going to be my Jamie Lee Curtis breakout role?
I got a phenomenal question. Thank you so very much. I have a question for you. when you were 18, was everything you were doing amazing? Obviously, I'm sure. No, I'm dead serious. That was just me being facetious. But listen, I mean, I was 18 years old. You know, you do what comes your way, and you know, I was just happy to be an actress. I'd only been living in California for 6 months, and I was like, I want a TV show and I have a movie, and I'm working with Richard Dreyfuss, and this is amazing. Right. So it was like, you know, it was my kind of way to try and like get to a younger audience, because everything that I'd been doing thus far had been for like an older demographic. And so it was like all these movies like Idle Hands, I Know What You Did Last Summer, all these movies in 97 through 99 started coming out, and I wasn't in any of them, so I was irrelevant basically. So it was my, you know, my chance to kind of try and like, you know, throw my hat in the ring in all those movies. You know, it was an entertaining movie. I was pissed off because I told them I wouldn't show my boobs, so I went to go see the movie with my parents, and they had hired somebody else to be my boobs. And I was like, fuck
Dad, those aren't mine. Trust me, those aren't mine, Dad.
I did. I was so pissed off. I was like, had I known they were going to do that, I would have just used my own because they were better.
Now you're on the hook.
Those are not my tits.
Now you're on the hook for that.
I am a good solid C.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you very much.
No, now you're on Mr. Skin with that as a now that's not me.
Those aren't me. Those aren't me.
If you're going to do it, claim it. Another thing too. This town is so freaking hard. So if you're in a movie and and you get cast outside of doing some horrible, you know, you're not going to go to Chatsworth and film an adult movie. If you got some big picture, you're gonna do it because you got to take it.
You have to, and you know you move here with a dream, and you know I have a lot of girlfriends that turned a lot of shit down because they thought that they were too good for it, and I took all the stuff they turned down, and you know. I'm working. Look who we have here.
Oh, these guys think.
Schmoes Know. Schmoes Know.
Boy. Oh,
hi,
man.
guys.
I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
Hi.
Get out.
How was the premiere?
Oh, darling, it was just another boring affair. I had to put on my pearls.
Did I just sit I'm walking into a sauna right now. Your ass is sweating.
It's hot. It's hot. He was nervous. He was doing a really good job.
All right. So, what are we listening to? NPR right now? What's going on?
Did you guys notice the earphones?
A brand new one. I love it.
Boom phones.
Katie, is anyone listening still?
I don't fucking know. I had some guy just call in and tell me that Halloween Resurrection was horrible, and I was like, fantastic. Thank you.
I heard that. Well, great. What's up, Schmoeville? It is. It's the show. We're back. We're back from. Red Dawn. Holy shit. Did Gollum make his appearance?
He did. It was amazing.
Good.
Gollum's here. Not all of us can have the energy of Harloff. Listen, we can't.
You were very good.
I make a very good number 3.
You were very good.
I don't make a good
Katie,
number.
When I think of you, I think of number 2. So I think that you just got upgraded.
That's Halloween. That's Halloween.
So we can talk about how sweaty Kenny's ass gets, but I make one easy number 2 joke, and Harloff suddenly is all over.
You were
me.
saying H2 was doo-doo.
Where were we?
We were. I was here drinking beer, getting shit on by viewers about
Hollywood until you two.
It's so much better when no one can hear you.
We were having an interesting conversation about how a lot of the girlfriends that I was working with at the time don't work anymore because they turned shit down thinking they were too good for it. I took it all and I'm still working. So sometimes you can't be choosy. You got to just work when people want you to work, and then you get bigger in your career and you can start to be choosy.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, we honestly, by the way, we were listening. We were in the back drinking beers for like the last half an hour.
I've been at Buffalo Wild Wings since 4. I have no idea Red Dawn even was coming out. So I apologize.
That's where we were, and I totally
talk to me about it.
Now, Ken, you obviously did a great job. Thank you so much. And
he did do a good job.
Well done, sir.
Well
done. Did anybody let the intern talk? Josh, did you get some airtime?
Yeah, I heard it. I think we played.
Yeah?
I think we played a 6-hour interview that he
did. But Marion Cotillard was talking the entire time.
That's good.
You know what? If I'm interviewing Marion Cotillard, I haven't heard your interview, Josh. God forgive me. But I'm just trying to stretch that thing out as long as possible, right? Because there's a chance the longer and longer you talk to her, she ends up dropping her address or phone number, vital information, something like that.
Or according to this movie, her clothes.
No, I actually.
Really?
Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Shamu sucks on her titty. It's fantastic. It's great.
Is that the name of the film?
It is.
That's the name of the...
It's a French film. It makes very little sense.
Okay. All right.
But, you know, it happens.
She's losing her mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
Shamu sucking on titties, man.
He was thirsty.
Losing his mind. And I'm reaping all the benefits.
Excellent. Thank you.
Nice.
Jeff. I missed you, Jeff. I missed
like
you so
it.
much. You know, the funny thing is, too, as much as I kid, I did listen to Josh's interview, and it was really good. What I loved about it, when you started, and you mentioned the Schmoes Know Podcast, and you said, my audience. I loved that part.
I think of them as my audience also.
I love that he said my audience, yet last week he threw you under the fucking bus when he thought that he was going to get punched in the face.
He did. He pushed me into Piper, basically.
Right.
Yeah, he did. No, he's like, those are questions Christian asked me.
God!
No,
I felt bad about that, by the way.
You know what's great about watching you
You
guys
did.
is that we just walked out of Red Dawn where a bunch of kids are hiding in the woods, right? Because North Korea takes over, and they have to take back what was rightfully theirs. I
Yes.
kind of feel like it's a Red Dawn situation coming back into the podcast. I
Right?
feel like
It is.
we got overtaken by people we didn't expect,
Right.
and all of a sudden now the Wolverines are back, but we're going to be friends. We're not going to shoot you guys in the head.
Well, Ken, come here for a second, because I want to know
Not all of you.
what did we miss?
We had some great calls from George from New York. How sweaty
did.
are my armpits?
We did.
Pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's not as
that's
bad as that.
And
one I walked into.
Patrick called. Patrick called. He talked about how
um,
we're going to see the first 9 minutes of
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
When do we get to see the first 9 minutes of Star Trek?
At the beginning of The Hobbit.
Right.
apparently.
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
right?
But
I was going to pay to see that anyway.
I know. It's like the Cliff Notes version.
all right, so I don't know if Ken mentioned this or not too, but what we decided we were going to do, we've never done this before. Mark and I did just see Red Dawn. What we were going to do is we're going to kind of show you guys who are watching live how
the sausage is made.
how the two idiots actually do the review. We're going to tape our review on air.
This is like Saturday Night Live. You know,
Yeah.
it's like we're going live. This is going to be the review that goes up on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
This is going to be the Schmoes Know Red Dawn review.
Yeah.
You guys are going to get to listen to it happen live. We're not just looking for filler on the podcast. We have plenty of stuff we can talk about. This is kind of a time crunch for me and Christian, too.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, we got a lot of stuff that we need help with Schmoeville actually too,
Yeah.
because we Mark's going out of town. He's going to be gone for like a week. Then we have Thanksgiving next week. No show, by the way. I don't know if Ken mentioned that or not. He's a good
Did
producer.
not,
I'm
but-
sure he did.
yeah,
Oh no, you didn't.
We were
Okay.
going to get.
We were getting there. We were talking about shit.
You got to reel them in before you let them down. You know,
right. We were stroking the audience.
Just like Ellis
It was
on
a
date.
French
Yeah.
film thing.
It was French.
I know that we usually, if you guys don't know, we do a movies.com top 5 list every week based off the current releases that are coming out. We'll come up with a list. Last week, what the hell was the list last week?
For James
Oh,
Bond,
right.
we did the top 5 bad hair days
for villains,
for bad
of all
guys.
time.
Yeah.
Right. So now this,
Really?
yes.
You know, Javier Bardem's blonde coif.
Oh no, we didn't.
Love
No,
it.
we didn't. No, that was
and-
last week. We did.
Yeah.
Last week we did saddest characters. in
And then
movies.
for Twilight, we
Right.
did the saddest characters in movies because, as Christian likes to point out, that everybody in Twilight always looks depressed.
Yeah,
It's true.
Twilight face.
What do they?
I'd be depressed too if I was that white and couldn't get a tan.
Katie also admitted while you were gone that she wants to wait in line for Twilight,
I
so
did. I
she
did.
might be leaving
Katie,
to go do that.
let me tell you something real quick about this Twilight thing, okay? Because I saw this thing last night, and it is a normal Twilight movie for the first hour. You're like, okay, I don't understand this stupid plot points, vampires like this, werewolves like
Right.
this. And then there's a fight scene that happens, and holy
Is it amazing?
God, that fight scene is really,
Because
really good.
I have to say that in the book, the fight scene was such a fucking letdown.
Oh, really?
That I read
Did you
that.
read all of them?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. And I got to that part in the book and was like, what did you run out of ink?
Katie, there's a
It was a
wrinkle.
nightmare.
There's a wrinkle that I didn't enjoy at the end of the fight scene, so we're going to talk off camera for a little bit.
Let's talk
air.
off cameras
Yeah.
because I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a Twilight gal.
I didn't know that either.
Well, listen, the acting is, but
You were so happy and tan most of the time. I didn't think you'd be into all those pale vampires running around forks.
I know.
Well, one of the things we wanted to talk about too, and anybody in the studio right now can help us as well. We're going to do our top 5 list. We need help from Schmoeville. What should our list be? We got to base it off what movie's coming out this week, or next week. What the hell is it? What's the big release next week?
It's going to be Rise of Guardians or Red Dawn. It's one of the Thanksgiving movies,
Right.
so we need your help. Maybe is it top 5 Christmas Santa Clauses in film history?
We did
Is it
remakes already.
Yeah, is it the
We've
top
done
5? Red Dawn. Is it? So we need your guys' help. Life of Pi also comes out next week. So top 5
Top
boats
5
with Tiger
movies with Keanu Reeves.
What's he in?
Just an
'cause
evergreen list.
He
for
was
Katie.
he was in a little movie, a little Christmas movie called Babes in Toyland.
Oh, okay.
Keanu Reeves was in Babes in Toyland.
Yes, he
When?
was. Ooh.
When did this happen?
Watch it. He was like 5.
Okay. Let's take. Do we have one call? All right.
We're already taking calls. We just got here.
I want to take one. We haven't talked to anybody yet.
showed up.
I
Your
miss.
kingdom awaits.
I miss Schmoeville. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hello, guys. This is Patrick again.
What's
Hi,
up, Patrick?
Patrick.
How are you, dude? What do you got?
So, first off, for Mark, I just want to say I bought your album this weekend.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Oh,
And it was
thank you,
fantastic.
Patrick.
Well done.
Thank you.
He's really funny when he's out of Harloff's shadow.
While thank you for that, Katie.
You're
While
welcome.
Patrick's on the phone and he got my album and he enjoyed it, what were your thoughts on Halloween Resurrection? I'm just kidding. Let's go to the.
Those boobs were awesome. They weren't mine. Fuck.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool.
Is that what he called? Patrick, you had a question?
Oh, no, he's gone.
Patrick.
We got somebody else, though. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got? Who is this?
Turn your computer down.
All right.
You're such
Hey, it's Mark's favorite person, Sean, calling in.
Hey, man. So what's up? What do you
What's
got,
up,
Sean?
Shawnee? Fellow Virginian.
I wanted to talk about the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. Now I've heard that the first teaser for the Hunger Games Catching Fire will air before it. Now, it's been leaked, and it's just the logo followed by the words, I think, every revolution starts with a spark, and then that Hunger Games whistle tune. As the kids these days say, it looks legit, and Lionsgate took it down a few hours ago. Nothing really new here, but what do you think of Catching Fire and how it'll turn out?
Thank you so much for that one.
Well, thanks for the update,
Sean.
Sean. You know what Sean just did is he just took $12 out of Christian Harloff's pocket because now Christian is going to have to pay to go see Twilight Breaking Dawn.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Look, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I'm a huge, you guys know I love the books.
Yeah.
That movie turned me off a little bit. Have I been talking about it as much as I used to?
Yeah. Your anticipation's down, definitely.
It's down. I mean, but look,
we all
I'm
threatened
glad
to jump ship if you kept talking about
I'm glad
the books.
that Michael Arndt is doing the screenplay for it. That gives me hope. But I don't know, man. Look, all right, we're going to break. We're losing you, aren't we?
You're losing me.
That makes me sad.
I got to go move.
All right, so we
Could
don't
it be that I'm losing you?
All right, we're going to lose Katee Sackhoff. Now, guys, keep on in. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Do our Red Dawn review in a little bit here. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then Katie will figure out when she's coming back, and we'll talk to you guys
I'll talk
soon.
to you guys after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then she said H2O was going to win an Oscar, and I'm like, get out of here. Oh, we're back on. We're back on.
One of the
Look at
sexier
that
looks.
shot. Look at that. Way to go. Katie, thank you so much. We'll see you later. All right. Nice. I love that. Jeff, as much as I love you not having his mic on, we got to turn it on.
Kenny's mic isn't on.
No.
No.
Josh, what are we working with on the quality there? Is it pretty good? Okay.
Josh is setting up the camera. We may have a multicam shoot here.
Yeah.
The first multicam shoot we've ever done for
we can
just
do
a
it.
review.
We can do it soon. We can do. I mean, if he sets up, we can get it done.
I think we do it. I think we give Schmoeville time to breathe, time to welcome us back, and then we're going to do a Red Dawn review coming out of the last break. So make sure you stay tuned for that, kids.
I actually like a suggestion here.
Okay.
For our list, and it's by at Stu Thomas, who writes in top 5 movies with red in the title.
Oh, that's
I like
good.
that.
That's
red
good.
in the
It's a good
title.
one.
Okay, you have the 1960 classic, The Angry Red Planet, and then what else? What's going to be numbers 2 through 5?
I'm going to figure it out.
Okay.
So that's the challenge for Schmoeville. Out of those, what are some of the good movies with red in the title?
And why are we doing red again?
Red Dawn.
Oh, for
Come
red.
on, man!
Okay.
The movie we just saw.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm wearing this shirt. You
wake
guys
up
have
a
seen
little
it. People have seen this thing. I love this one. I get compliments on this one all the time. It's the Avengers and the Reservoir Dogs. Way Mark is not wearing a Ripped Apparel shirt.
I did. I wore my Marty McFly Hill Valley alumni shirt for the Twilight review this morning, and now I'm wearing my Journey shirt because Journey is a band that kicks ass.
Well, I got you. So anyway, Ripped Apparel will eventually do a Journey shirt, but until they do, you guys should check it out. They've had some really good ones lately too. I got Ken one finally.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. My first Ripped Apparel shirt.
What do you got? The Assassin's Creed one?
No, it's the AT-AT with the AC/DC
logo. Yeah, it's the AC/DC logo except AT-AT, which is
I emailed him and it's like Kenny wants.
Well, I got Mark jealous actually because there's one. There was the from Monty Python.
Yeah, that's right.
The
Black Knight always triumphs,
and he's like a DJ, and I turned it into an iPhone cover.
Yeah, it's not just shirts. You can get an iPhone cover, you can get
sweatshirts,
hoodies, all that kind of stuff.
But anyway, the point of this,
apparel's great.
It's great, and they really come out. The quality is so good. If you guys go on the bottom, you're watching this right now. You're watching the video. Go on the bottom. You see the little widget there of Ripped Apparel. Click on that. Type in Schmoes, and you'll get $1 off of the. And it's really worth. It's like a $9 shirt. It's worth it. If you haven't tried it, try it. So anyway, all right, Kenny. So you got to fill us in here, bud, because we're a little behind. What did you guys talk some shit on us where we were going?
No, we talked about
talked about the Schmoes Know website. We talked about the new writers we're bringing in there to the Schmoes Know website. We talked about
reading, is what you're saying.
We talked about reading. We
reading.
also caught up with Josh following his altercation with Roddy Piper last week. And went through that, walked through all the emotions on that. Covered the news, talking about how Spielberg, Tarantino, and Zack Snyder have all said no, not interested in Star Wars.
To Star Wars, okay.
To Star Wars.
Okay, so do we think, is there a director that they already had that they're not letting out of the bag yet?
Frank Marshall said in a pre-ceremony interview, one of those kind of one-offs, hey, what you wearing type things. The interview actually got out of him. His wife is Kathleen Kennedy, and he says he hinted at it's already been decided. I can't tell you, but it's going to be good.
Who the director is?
Yes.
Okay.
And Frank Marshall just said, I wouldn't be alive in the morning.
But I mean, and I hope that that's true. And I hope that
they're going to say that about anybody.
Right.
Yeah. But
we just got you bull or whatever his fucking name.
Yeah.
So all right, and the other thing, so did you guys talk about? I know we talked. You said
we talked about the potential James Wan directing the MacGyver movie.
Oh, I heard that. That. There was some stuff. That's what I heard about a couple things, and Katie was excited about that. We literally walked from the Man's Chinese Theater and we're listening. I'm like, oh, let's see how many listeners we're losing. You guys did a great job. I'm just kidding.
We know Richard Dean Anderson hates the fact that he was in MacGyver. He always gets pissed off when you ask him about MacGyver in interviews. So
he doesn't like that he did MacGyver.
He might accept it now, but he used to get pissed. I think when he was still like, hey, man, I'm in Stargate, too.
I did Stargate, buddy.
I'm in SG-1. That's like Roy Scheider saying my best sea work is Sequest. It's like, dude, you were in Jaws. Just answer the question.
I was in Blue Thunder.
I guess that's because sci-fi is kind of cool now.
Yeah.
So you want to take the
probably.
All right. Well, how about you guys, Schmoeville? What's the latest out there in Schmoeville? What's everybody talking about? What are the cool kids talking about in the movie world? Call in. Cool kids. Tell us 323-622-8623. Okay, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, guys. It's Megan.
Hey, Megan. Megan, I got to tell you that we are impressed that you're calling in after Katie left.
No.
Yeah, you missed her. Sorry, kid.
Dial tone.
Oh, she didn't know.
That's tough.
She didn't know. Yeah, okay. Well, I apologize. You know, here's the thing, though. I'll make you a little, hopefully make you a little happier. Megan is awesome. And you know why she's awesome?
Why is Megan awesome?
She sent us the thing on Facebook. She officially started our Tumblr page for Schmoeville fans, Schmoeville podcast fans. You did. So, do you have a web address for that, or where can people find that on Tumblr?
It's schmoesknowfans.tumblr.com.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Megan.
Is there a message?
You're welcome.
Is there a message that you would like us to tell Katie because she's on her way to Canada?
You know Megan doesn't care about us. You're already asking her, what can we tell Katie for you?
Yeah.
Well, just that I love her, and I'm sitting here with my little dog who's actually named Starbuck because that's how much I love her.
That's incredible. Okay, I'm going to let her know that, and maybe that'll put a smile on her face as she's taking the trip to Mexico tomorrow. All right, thank you, Megan.
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so we let's see. There's so much stuff to talk about. I mean, what are you laughing about?
I'm still so happy about Mark Ellis Get to the Castle. I've
good,
had
dude.
your
I listened to
Pandora
it.
channel
Yeah.
up.
Did both of you guys listen to it?
Yeah.
I have your Pandora channel up. I can bring it up right now.
You didn't even offer me a copy. I had to steal one from your apartment.
All these years.
I didn't know you stole one. I
have one in my bag. Then.
You know what? I got to tell you, we can just go ahead and do this now. I got to tell you, I may be the only person associated with Schmoeville that hasn't listened to the damn thing yet because we don't like to listen to it.
I understand
But
that.
I really want to take this opportunity in the podcast to thank you guys. The thing is selling like hotcakes. I've gotten great numbers back already from all the platforms on iTunes and Amazon. Thank you guys so very much for checking it out.
Well, you stuck the link right on the top of the Twilight review.
Damn right, man. If you make me see that movie by myself, I'm going to take full advantage, my friend.
You had to see it by yourself? Whoa.
Record scratch.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I sat
next to a pretty young lady. She was 14 years old, as it turned out. That came out later at the ice cream parlor.
Yeah, and so did your closeted love for Twilight. Anybody who knows Schmoeville, we know that Mark has said. Look, I watched the review, and by the way, some people are asking why I missed it. My daughter was sick. I was on my way there.
Yeah.
She was like, I had to go home and I had to take care of my daughter, so I couldn't be there. But Mark, I watched the review and I respected the opinion on it because you weren't doing this. I love Twilight just to love it. You gave it a fair review, and the fact that you dug the battle scene.
Twilight kind of punched me in the face over the years a little bit. I had fun watching the first one because I watched it from the angle of this is a stupid 90210 show. Mm-hmm. But I did kind of get into the story a little bit. And by the way, if you go back and watch our first Twilight review, Christian Harloff has some nice things to say about it because I watched
the first one is not horrendous.
I watched our very first Twilight review because I put it at the end of the new Twilight Twilight review to kind of bookend the whole thing together for the Schmoes. That was one of our very first reviews, right? So we said some nice things. And what's funny is that I'm bitching about the special effects, and that we actually complimented the special effects in the very first one.
The first one,
So it's weird to see how times have changed. But all in all, the Twilight it's just bad Twilight movie for the first hour of this thing. But this fight scene is just so epic.
Yeah.
At the end, it shocked me.
And you're not the only person that I've heard say that. A lot of people have been saying that. They're saying it's the best of the series, which at this point it's not that much of an accomplishment because anything. The last movie they're playing chess for 50 minutes.
Yeah, the last movie was maybe the worst in the franchise. But this one kind of picks it up. I mean, we were all
How's her running though? I see her running, and I want to laugh and then just send Rupert Everett out there.
You heard what I just said, right? What? The running takes place in the first frame of the movie. It's like she's discovering her vampire skills.
That's it.
And oh my God, it's like I'd rather watch Bambi walk on ice for a while than watch Kristen Stewart be a vampire.
Couldn't be worse than trying to watch Daniel Craig run. You ever seen that guy run?
Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig's
awful. His run is awful. It's really bad. I'm so glad
one of our Schmoes Know writers, Joe
really?
Ruggiero, said, we saw the movie last night, he goes, he looks like the Muppets when they're doing the long shot walking.
It's funny, it's
Joe
true.
Ruggiero, Joe Rue 23 on Twitter.
I haven't seen Joe in a long time, but Joe is a very, very funny.
He writes for us now.
I had no idea until like 2 days ago, but Joe is hysterical.
Yeah,
He's really funny.
Mark never checks the site, so don't be offended if you're a writer on schmoesknow.com and Mark says, "Who are you?" Because he still doesn't know who Mike Beatrice is. He has been writing for the site for 3 years. All right, let's take a call from Schmoeville. This is an open forum, Schmoeville. It's one of the more laid-back shows we've had in a while, actually. So,
but we still need your suggestions. Go ahead and tweet them in and let us know what is the top. We need a top 5 movie with the name Red in it. I got a good one.
I got some good ones here.
I got The Hunt
Jeff
for Red
Jacobs.
October.
Yeah, someone has that. This is the list from Jeff Jacobs at JCool0. Red Heat, The Hunt for Red October, the big red one.
Red Sonja. I just came up with that one on my own. How about that?
Take it easy. Red Planet and Red Rock West. I probably would put Red Sonja there. All right, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
This is Patrick again.
What's
Hello
up,
there.
Patrick? No reason to say again. We know you're here, buddy. What's up?
Sorry.
It's all right.
I actually have an Avengers question for you, if you'll permit me.
Pass. No, I'm just kidding. What's up? I love this.
Yeah, if you don't cut off Patrick every time he compliments my album, then he'll ask a question.
Yeah, if you say get to you're out of here.
All right, fair enough. It's actually about the Avengers 2, and it's more of a broad spectrum question.
And then 2 Italian plumbers. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Patrick, while I was taping the album that night, a lot of weird things happened.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Patrick. I've been drinking beers.
No, I completely understand. No, but
he used to be funny
Avengers
once upon a time too.
A long time ago. All right, sorry. This is chaos, complete chaos here. Don't you apologize?
You cut Kristian off right now. Go ahead, Pat.
Seriously, go ahead, Patrick. Who is this?
With the original prequel, well, I shouldn't say prequel, but the original setup movies for the Avengers working so well, do you think the same is going to happen for the Avengers 2? And do you think that with them adding even more characters, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man coming afterwards, do you think it's going to become
too much?
Too much? Yeah, exactly.
It's a great question. Thanks, Patrick. Now, here's the thing. That's very possible. Mm-hmm. There's always a possibility for these things. But look, what I think Marvel has learned from Iron Man 2 is you can't rush it. Hence the reason it's coming out in 2015.
Yeah, well, the other reason why it's coming out in 2015 is that we need to know what everybody else is going to be up to in the meantime. It's almost like you're not totally resetting everything, but you have to make some good individual movies. Iron Man 3 has to knock it out of the park again. Mm-hmm. You have these other characters that we need to see on screen, and we need to know why aren't they hanging out with the Avengers right now? Right. And then at the end of their movies, why are they going to have to go back to hang out with the Avengers again? If Thor's going to go vacation on Asgard, why does he have to come back to Earth? And if Tony Stark is not going to hang out with the Incredible Hulk in Iron Man 3, why does he have to come back and hang out with him again? So so it's not, the pressure isn't just on the Avengers 2. It's on the entire damn universe.
I agree.
I just blacked out what I said.
No, it's all right. And speaking of what did I say, can I address something?
Yeah.
Why do you look at me? Am I grounded?
No. You're gonna be.
You got the leather jacket on.
No, I think you're gonna be on my side in this one. This is we don't normally do this on. We don't normally do this ever on the YouTube channel or anything.
Fight? We do it all the time.
No, fucking trolls. And the thing is too.
Oh, jeez.
No. I'm bringing. And the reason I bring it up is because.
You just saw Red Dawn.
No, and there was some comment today. Some guy attached a video to, for people who are not familiar with YouTube, and you can attach video responses to the thing. So this guy didn't like Skyfall, and that's fine. And he attached a video to it, and then he got rid of it. So I said, I wrote him an email, and I said, well, I was going to approve your video. Why'd you get rid of it? And he was like, your reviews suck. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I go, wait a minute. I'm like, you attached the video to. I'm like, well, I want to hear your points. If you're listening, buddy, because I invited him to talk about it. Right. I want these trolls, and I've invited every troll that has said anything to discuss it on the podcast.
We look at
no
trolls
one does.
like Luke Skywalker looked at his father. There is still good in you. Yeah. We want you to come back to the dark side, but to come back to the good side. If you don't, we are going to probably cut your hand off.
And that was the thing. We had such a respect, such a great comment the other day, and I think, what the hell video was it? I think it might have been the Walking Dead thing that we did. Yeah. And it was. And this girl or guy, he didn't agree with anything that we had said in the review at all. But was so intelligent about the way he put his thoughts and his points are across. And I'm like, that's why we do this show. Yeah. Because you have conversations. Look, I like Josh. I don't agree with a fucking thing that he thinks about Skyfall, but I appreciate all of his stuff that he's talking about.
Besides Daniel Craig running.
No, so far he agrees with you half the time, so his opinion is null.
Hey, buddy. The check is in the mail, Josh.
No, take that away from him. But I kid though. But when he makes his points, you make them in a film fan's point, and that's the thing. You can have discussions about film. You can disagree with people. It's like, yeah, you fucking fag. It's like, like shit like that. It's like, come on, idiot.
The Schmoes Know brand has always been a celebration of the movie community, and that includes discussions. That includes alternate points, and that's what we do here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Speaker of the House, Ari Fleischer, right there.
Right,
God, that felt good.
So here it is. Here it is, you filthy fucks out there who have been talking.
Boy.
Now,
I should probably write the speech here.
If anybody out there is trolling, I'll pull out the Emperor.
Unlimited power.
And the thing is, if you have a grievance or anything that you want to discuss that you didn't agree with, that you want to be a douche about, then call and let us talk. That's what I want to do. I want to talk about
You've been hanging out with Roddy Piper too much. That's what Piper wants to do with all the dirt sheet writers right now.
Yeah, Kristian.
I'll respect you. Come on in.
Come on.
I'm Piper. I'll punch you.
Every phone call in Schmoeville just hung up. I'm not talking to this fucking guy.
Yeah, this guy is worked up in a lot. You know what is great about doing our show?
That's a great job.
And what I think trolls should maybe focus on is, stop going after the little guy. Yeah. Because I see if the little guy gets trolled, then they don't have as much support and backup. When a troll comes to Schmoeville, it's like piranha going to a feeding frenzy. It's like you just dipped your toe in Amazon waters, because our fans do the fighting for us, and that's why we love you guys.
I fucking hate when some poor kid who just started his YouTube channel out and someone goes, "You suck, your opinion sucks." Shut up, dummy. At least he put the camera in front of his face and told his opinion on movies.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, all right.
This is great. We always talk about Darth Ellis, but Rise, you are now Darth Harlow.
You see what I'm working with.
Who trained him?
Yeah.
Henceforth, he will be known as Darth.
Yeah,
that's right.
Napzok, every Sith apprentice has a master.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
No more, no less than two.
Keith from New York.
Yo, what's up, dude?
Not much. Short-time listener, long-time caller.
I love that you said that. Thank you.
I actually have two movies for your Red list.
Hit it.
I got Red itself, Bruce Willis.
Great one.
Very good,
Has to make the list.
That.
Good one, yep.
And Red State, Kevin Smith.
I never saw it,
Red
but I
State
hear great things about it. Yeah.
in my queue. I saw it was on TV the other night. I was watching another program, decided to TiVo it. We'll see how it works out.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Michael Park knocks it out of the park, that movie.
Okay. We'll have to check it out. Thanks.
Stay safe in New York, buddy.
And hence the reason I love Schmoeville, because of this stuff. By the way, before I take another call from you guys also, this is something that I know that we've talked about as well, too. The iTunes link. If you go to iTunes and you type in Schmoes Know Movies, go ahead and rate that and star that thing, because that'll knock us up to the news and noteworthy things and get right next to Mark Ellis's comedy album. And
you can also rate and star my comedy album and write a review. I want to see what you guys thought.
Yeah. Right. So please do that. Just if you're right now, if you're watching the show, just go to the iTunes link, type in Schmoes Know Movies, and
put the beer down for a second and just go on iTunes and just give us a comment.
I just want to beat somebody.
We just want to be loved. Are you guys ready to do your review? You want to do it now?
No.
We're going to do it coming back from break. We're going to take a break in a minute.
Yeah, you know what I wanted to do when Katee was here, but I forgot about it. I wanted to do Alf and Arnold run into Starbuck and have to fly a fucking spaceship. That would have been hysterical.
That's a great tease for when Katee comes back from Mexico. She's going to be all fresh. Or maybe she drinks the water and never returns.
I got an idea we haven't done in a while. Jeff, can we play the game?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Let's get Josh the intern in here. You want to play the game?
Give us a
what?
Unfair
Yeah,
advantage.
guess? What? Oh, you know what the clips are?
I picked the clips.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go.
I want more.
Can you do a 3-shot?
Yeah, and I want more tweets from Schmoeville out here. Come on, what's going on? What's the thoughts out there? Let's have fun.
We only got an hour with you guys for the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So come on, call in, tweet in. What the hell is on your mind? It is time to get funky fresh. That's right. I called back the fucking 80s.
You have to swear every time, Kristian.
Today I do.
Man.
You're on a show where they talk about pussy yanking. You're going to tell me.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable indeed. All right,
Three's too much.
Oh, nice tweet. All right, here we go.
That wasn't a tweet. That was.
Yeah, I just talked about not you. Somebody else. It's not all about you.
Well, nobody else is talking to you.
Patrick Hughes.
You're talking to a computer.
Canadian Pat 493 said, "Here we go."
You
the
know,
game.
North Korea is not
tweet.
attacking us.
They
all
will
right?
be soon.
Relax.
All right. Here we go.
So you're telling me you can only give our guys
Kristian, Paul 13.
Wow,
That's it.
Kristian.
That's the game. That's the end of the game.
Right back in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got three.
Whoever gets the 3 first wins.
Tyson up in this.
Done as you asked. Be careful, Mr. President. I think he is drunk.
Hello? Hello, Dimitri.
Mark. That was, I'm going to say Dave.
Sometimes, can I steal? Can Ken steal?
No.
Yeah, you just buzzed in.
Is it Dr. Strangelove?
Yeah. I like your attitude today.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It's a lot better when you don't lose your iPhone.
You know how they say there are alligators in the sewers?
Mark.
Oh, fucking A.
Alligators in the sewers.
Just calling his name out to get
Come on,
Yeah, I know. No, I heard alligators in the sewers, and I know what it is. Oh, E.T.
Oh, you fucker.
Whatever, penis breath.
Tied up at one.
That one of these creatures is somehow able to talk,
Kristian.
and he's going
Sword and Stone. Damn it.
to talk with us right now.
Mark. Gremlins 2.
Well, Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2.
Unfair advantage. We established in the first hour I was not allowed to watch those movies in the 80s, so I'd never seen that.
Oh, that was the new batch, yeah.
At Austin James Mink, I'll fucking do a Deborah Morgan up in this
Special
bitch.
cameo by our movie-going buddy Leonard Maltin in Gremlins 2, the new
Really?
batch.
And Hulk Hogan, too, by the way. All right. What else we got? All right, nice music. Shit.
Can't afford to be crying anymore now. I don't want either one of you to ever cry for me again.
Kristian. Original Red Dawn.
Good call. Good call. All right.
Wow.
Is that 3?
That's 2.
No, yeah, 2-2.
All right.
2-1.
What did Laura mean last night when she said, I haven't slept with him yet?
Mark.
Ken.
No, I got that first. What did Laura mean when she said, I haven't slept with him yet? Does that mean she's going to sleep with him? Does that mean she's... how many... Wait, somebody put like 10 seconds on the clock.
It's a movie that defined my life.
Slept with him yet. To define your life, that just threw me off.
You're out. You're out.
Ken, High Fidelity. Come on. That's ridiculous.
No. Damn.
He didn't win.
We're all tied at 2.
What are you doing?
The next one wins.
This
The next one wins.
next one
Oh,
wins.
that was an easy one, Jeff.
Stop it now.
Be nice. Come on. If somebody gets in your face and calls you a cocksucker, I want you to be nice.
Mark, I want you to be nice.
He doesn't even know.
Yeah, I do.
He just thinks. You got to give him like a
through every movie.
You got to give him like a 2-minute thing.
Damn it, that was shit.
You're out.
Be nice. Fight Club. I don't know.
You're out. Go ahead.
Okay. Ask him to walk. Be nice. If you won't walk, walk.
Kristian. Roadhouse.
Yeah, well
job.
done. Yeah, I don't deserve to win. If I can't get Roadhouse, I don't deserve to win.
Patrick Swayze won me that game because of the Red Dawn. Jesse Green also guessed Roadhouse. Okay, good. All right, cool. So, Chris, at CBlount92, you must have hated the Red Dawn remake because you're cussing like sailors. To be fair here,
Wait.
I'm the only one cussing.
Yeah.
Like and it's okay. Look, it's before Thanksgiving.
It's before Thanksgiving, so Grandpa's going to loosen his belt.
I'm not censored anymore. I feel like I want to go back into how I used to be.
We all want that.
Look, thank you.
I know how
good.
you used to be, and that was a scary, dark time.
You like the way
Fun,
I used
though.
to be. I used to be.
Oh, no, I thought like meant it used to be like like he used manners and had a wife and a child that he cared about.
Fuck that shit. All right, so what else do we got?
When I met this loud, oh boy,
loudmouth
stories.
That's right. We got a whole bunch of different stuff coming out today. What the hell are we talking about? We're going to be doing our Red Dawn remake, but we got a whole bunch of things coming on.
We're going to be doing a live review of Red Dawn when we come back from the break. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
It might be a train wreck with the guy I'm next to.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
And about 5 minutes ago, let's just all relax and enjoy each other's company.
We haven't had a show like this in a while, to where we could just talk
we've been
about
proper.
stuff.
We've had guests,
Yeah,
and
we've
this
had
is kind
guests,
of
and
every once in a while we got to let loose here on Schmoeville.
I feel like with the movie landscape right now, we're almost preparing for the Thanksgiving movies because like this week it was a good week because earlier, or I guess last week, we got to see Skyfall. We got to see Lincoln. And I love those movies. I gave Lincoln the coveted Ellis
5 out of
gold,
5.
5 out of 5
for you. That's a big thing.
And then this week, then we saw Hitchcock, and it was okay. We saw Anna Karenina. I drank all day on Sunday from 10 a.m. until 2 in the a.m. on Sunday. All day, and I have to be up to go see Anna Karenina at 10 a.m.
And we saw it with our buddy Catherine, with our old co-host Catherine Reitman.
Yeah, and I saw her after Twilight.
Oh shit! What happened to Tweet a Celebrity?
I was gonna move that to the second part of the show till you guys got here, so we could pick one.
Oh, well, did Katie put her name?
Yeah, she did.
Okay, cool. All right, let's take a call from Schmoeville. No, she didn't, did she? You're a scumbag. All right, hey, we're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
It's Max.
Hey, Max, what's up, dude?
Well, first of all, I was just thinking that I definitely think Matthew Vaughn is going to be the guy for Star Wars, because what are the odds that he drops out of X-Men and then Star Wars announced like within 3 days of each other?
I got to cut you off, dude.
See, I was with Max last week, and then I had the drunken insider over here tell me otherwise. So what do we got?
That's the look.
Is it dead in the water?
I was the one who had said, if you
want
listen
this,
to I wanted it.
Spearheaded the movement.
I can't tell you who, but somebody told me who is pretty close to the situation that he's working on.
George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas. He's working on a comic book. He's working on a comic book. Another movie, and that's why he dropped out. He's still producing and writing on X-Men. Matthew Vaughn will not be doing episode 7, and I hope that it's a ruse, and we might up seeing him, but it doesn't look like
that. Was the Harloff I know and love. The one that he was throwing F-bombs and throwing beers back.
That's
and then
the stand-up comic.
I have heard about Matthew Vaughn.
Turned into Andrew Freed.
Thinking about Kick-Ass?
What's that, man?
You thinking about the new Kick-Ass?
No. What's the name of the movie, Josh? The comic book.
Secret Service.
Secret Service is the comic that he's. Check that out. Just Google Matthew Vaughn Secret Service.
Inside sources, Kristian Harloff.
Yeah, but I'm with you, man. I wish it too. Thank you for the call, dude.
I had insider
close
info.
To Schmoeville, say.
I was at a yard sale at Skywalker Ranch last week.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a couple more calls. This is cool. I love talking to everybody. Hope everybody's good. Hope my cursing didn't turn anybody off. Hey,
man, you're like Mary Todd Lincoln right now.
I know.
You go crazy, then you're settled.
I'm trying to be nice. What are you looking at?
Silver Linings Playbook. See, there he goes again.
I miss
fucking mug out of there.
I miss being at the power seat already.
I cannot win a civil war with my wife acting like this.
Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Stu from Australia. What's going on?
Australia,
from Australia. Love it. What's up, man?
I'm just piping in on your whole movies thing.
Thank you.
That's why we're here.
That's all right.
Just to go down a different path, the Aaron Sorkin came out at a Q&A about what he's going to do with the Steve Jobs biopic.
Yeah. That's not the Ashton Kutcher one, right? Is that the other one?
No, not that piece of shit, like the actual one.
When an Australian guy says, "Nah, that."
You sound like an Australian.
Amazing, amazing. All right, sorry. Okay, so he was talking about the Steve Jobs one, and
well, basically, instead of doing a normal biopic from born to death, kind of the whole thing, his whole idea is possibly going to be he'll do 3 30-minute blocks as a behind the scenes of an Apple, like their launch events that they do for iPhones and iMacs. Just wondering if you think that'd actually work, or if it'd be kind of
I thank you for the call, dude. Thank you so much for calling in, because I know that's what time is it there?
It is 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, all right. So you're
perfect.
You're all right.
Yeah, see?
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you for the call.
Just had a nice afternoon snack of a wallaby, a couple shrimps.
That's exactly what it's like down there.
He's calling live from inside a kangaroo pouch.
We'll talk about that on the other side of the break.
Here we go. We got to go to break here. We're going to come back. We're going to do our review. It's going to be a Schmoes Know Podcast exclusive. We're going to do our actual review of Red Dawn Remake. We'll put this up on the YouTube channel, but you guys will be the first to see it when we come back, and then we'll do Tweet a Celebrity. Tweet in. Call in. We want to talk to you guys. Love it. What an appropriate Basil Polidorus. I hope I get his name right. The amazing score for Red Dawn, the original, and RoboCop.
Oh, really?
This is Red Dawn.
Well, I know it's not RoboCop.
No, this is an incredible. It's like, can you play this for a second? See how patriotic this song is?
Yeah. There was some patriotism in the new one as well. There was some patriotism. Wow. This is going to be a rough interview with Grandpa over here.
Talk about this shit.
We are actually going to do our live Red Dawn remake. All those great reviews that got us known, got us famous in the community.
Jeff, keep playing.
We're actually going to do a live one of those, and that's going to be the one that everybody sees on the YouTube channel. We're going to do that right after we do... What's this? What's the name of this segment?
Oh, yeah, we got to play this part. Gina and Randy. Gina and Randy.
Oh, Gina and Randy. They're
Who's
nice people.
Gina? Am I Gina? Gina and Randy. What the hell are you doing?
Weird.
All right, here we go. We're gonna do a Tweet a Celebrity. We just got to get the old bizbuzz going up there.
We need about an extra minute in the breaks. That might help us.
All right.
There.
I got one.
It's been a hectic night here in Schmoeville, but a fun night. I've enjoyed this night. Not only did I get all the airtime early on,
you don't have to deal with us
with Katie and Josh, but I like the mishmash shows.
I like this show too because it's a little more laid back. I love our guests and I love having people on, but it's one of these things. And I'd like to make an announcement real quick if I could do that.
Yeah.
It's actually your show, so you can do whatever the hell you want, guy.
I want to say, I'm asking you if it's cool if we make remember the coffee that we had the other day?
You can't say I'm going to make an announcement and me have no idea what the announcement is.
That's how it works.
We have coffee. I never have coffee. I have tea. What are you talking about?
When we went to Coffee Bean the other day, remember that? You remember how that was all about?
Dude, you have no idea how much I drink before noon.
So you don't remember it.
I don't remember anything about that meeting.
All right, here we go. So here's the thing. Katee Sackhoff, who is our co-host, is going to be going back to shooting a movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In February.
Okay.
And going to be shooting Longmire, so we're going to lose her for a good period.
How are we going to do the show?
So the question was, who do we bring in that Schmoeville loves and likes and wants to see co-host?
The woman that played Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life.
Yes.
Charles!
Actually, Tootie.
Schmoes!
The answer, don't worry, it is not Ken Napzok or Josh the Intern.
What?
Oh,
I picked out my dress and everything.
We are going to permanently bring in, starting in February, Tiffany Smith.
Yay! All right,
Tiffany
cool.
Smith will be our permanent...
now, who is that? I've never done a show with her.
Yeah, so I want to let everybody know. But Katee will be back in for the new year.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So, Jeff, you ready for the long version, short version, whatever version you want to play?
Tweet a Celebrity.
Josh the Intern, I need your dirty Patriots hat.
No, that's a DC hat tonight, yeah.
Do you have one in here?
Yeah.
It's only 3. Oh, it's 4. I don't know what's going on. Who cares? Doesn't matter. The air conditioning on. All right, here we go.
You're acting like there's 100 things in there. There's just 4.
Zack Snyder, ladies and gentlemen. Director Zack Snyder.
That'd be a big get.
That's right.
Every random thought counts, and even powerful people have a Twitter account. It's time to tweet a celebrity.
Listen to those harmonies.
Motherfucker.
Unbelievable.
All right, so
This is the old you.
I know. It's true. We have to bring in Zack Snyder. So, guys, here's how it works. If you guys don't know, and Kenny probably did a bad job of telling you in the beginning, so you have to go ahead and
we can assume that.
Find Zack Snyder at Zack Snyder and tweet him and say, look, you need to be on the Schmoes Know Podcast talking movies. Just put it out there and retweet each other's tweets and get it out there, and eventually we're going to get one of these humps.
Yeah, say, and you can kind of switch it up too. Maybe one of you talks about how great we are interviewing people. Yeah. The other one talks about how there's no pressure. It's just a fun, laid back. Somebody else tweets in they have a keg. So appeal to his liver.
All right, let's do one more call, and then we're going to do our exclusive
one more call
review.
to get lathered up.
That's right. Hey, turn down your computer. You're in Schmoeville. Who do we got? What the hell was that?
Was that a dog? Is that the Shaggy DA calling in? Hello, you're in Schmoeville. What do you got?
What do you got?
Hi, this is Alex.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hi, I just got back from Skyfall tonight.
And what'd you think?
It was awesome, but I noticed some huge Dark Knight parallels.
How so, my friend?
Kind of spoilers.
All right, this is this is a spoiler section for the fans. All right, continue.
Spoiler for which for
Skyfall.
For Skyfall. Okay.
The fact that he wanted to get caught and then broke out.
Oh, that's true.
He basically says the same thing as Gary Oldman, where he wanted us to catch him.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. Thank you so much for
but
that
wasn't that kind of the Dark Knight too?
Yeah,
Because Heath Ledger allows himself to get.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. Is
it's
the
the Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight Rises. Because I was going to say I didn't see a fusion bomb in the middle of the ocean.
A lot of villains in that. Loki did it in the Avengers.
He kind of let himself get caught.
It's a common plot device.
It is time. But it's that time we're going to be doing
all good movies. So
yeah. So here's how this is going to work, guys. For those of you out there who just tuned in, Mark and I are going to do something we've never done before on the show. We're going to actually do our review of Red Dawn, the remake, and we're going to Zach the intern, Josh the intern is going to be shooting it.
Wishful thinking there. Zack Snyder, our intern.
And we're gonna be live. You guys will be able to hear what we think, and then we want you guys, after we do our review, please call in, talk about it. If you have seen it, if you haven't seen it, if you've seen the original, love to hear whatever points we make. Comment on them and stuff. We want to talk to you guys. So just
Kristian, come on over to my mic. We're gonna share mics here, and as we always talk to each other.
Maybe you should stand. No,
I want to keep mine. I want to keep mine on. I want to hear how loud. I know. I'm going to look.
Truly behind the scenes. This is actually what happens in Mark's apartment.
Before every review that we do, I always tell Kristian two things. One, let's keep it under 5 minutes, and two, don't step on my jokes.
Never happens.
Neither one ever happens.
How you want to intro this thing?
Why don't you just go ahead and I'll come in.
All right. Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here we go. Oh, we got to do the intro.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. Start.
So you got something?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, it's the 1985.
Oh, say, can you see
Wolverines? All right, Schmoeville. So here we are. We're doing the review of the remake of the 1984 classic, I think it is, Red Dawn. It starred Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen.
I'm going to throw my red challenge flag because I think it was 1985. But either way, it was a classic movie, especially if you grew up in that generation and you got to see all these kids and Russia attacked. Right, and then Cuba. And Cuba joined up with it. I mean, what else does Cuba have to do in the 80s? True. I mean, come on. So they go away, they go out camping, and then they end up usurping the Russian and Cuban forces that invaded. Everybody winds up with it, full of patriotism. Great movie.
Right. Well, I mean, and people had problems with it, obviously, and that's fine. But that was when the Cold War was going on. It was a little different. So now you go to the remake. Now a lot more things are happening politically. Technology has changed.
Yeah. To quote Spaceballs, we're in now, and now is 2012 or 2010 when MGM originally wanted to make this movie, but it's coming out in 2012, and now it's different because we have a new dominant power in the universe, Kristian. North Korea.
Yeah, like you said, Spaceballs. You go from suck to blow because look, this thing sucks. It sucks to high heaven. It sucks.
Oh, wow.
It reeks. It smells so bad. It's one of my worst of the year, and I'll tell you why. Because of this thing. I'm watching it.
It's what we do on the show.
It starts off, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm enjoying this thing because I like the new liberties that they're taking with it. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that we're actually seeing a little more of the invasion. We have a little more money nowadays to show how this thing actually happens. And then you lose all the core relationships that you had that John Milius created, that the great Basil Polidaris, can't even get his freaking name right, his score, what he did.
Are you quoting Terrace in the first Red Dawn? Those are all really hard names to pronounce.
John Milius, dude, but that was the thing, though. Here's another reason I knew this thing was going to be a piss box on flaming wheels, is because it was, I'll tell you right now, it was the first rated R film ever. This thing's
the original.
Yes. This thing's PG-13, and then you got Josh Peck, who I said in a podcast was going to be the dark paw, disgusting stink pile of this thing, and he sucks to high heaven. He sucks.
And I'm Mark Ellis. When this movie comes on for the first half hour, I was really engaged in it because you see all the hallmarks of the original Red Dawn too. You have everybody looks like it's just this nice suburban town. We're playing football on Friday nights. Right. It's a nice place to live here in America. And then you wake up the next morning and all these planes are attacking. All this stuff happens. There's so much stuff going on, and then we get out to the woods, and then the movie. It maintained for me for a little while, but then you start asking yourself so many questions. Right. How are they getting back into the camp? How are they getting all these weapons? How are they not being killed yet with all this new technology that North Koreans have? So you start asking yourself more questions than are getting answered.
And that was the thing. In the original, they were in Colorado, which worked for the mountains and being up. They were out there for months, and eventually, every once in a while, they went into the town. They go into the town like it's like you and I going to like Chipotle.
Yeah,
it's like they go so
with just a little bit of intensity.
Oh, and not even. And one of my biggest problems with the TV show Revolution is everyone looks made up. The girls in this, like Jennifer Grey in the original, looked like she went through the ringer.
Jennifer Grey kind of did go through the ringer. Know anything about her career?
Yeah, she did not have the nose job in the original one. In this movie, everyone is made up. They look fine. The relationship between Chris Hemsworth and Josh Peck is so awful. Like in the original. The relationship between Swayze and Sheen, it worked. They were the two brothers that like had a nice little thing.
It was a fantastic thing. I didn't see Red Dawn when I was a kid. I saw it as an adult a couple times, so I'm a fan of the movie, but I'm not like attached to it like you are.
I'm a fanboy of it, obviously.
The relationship between Chris Hemsworth and Josh Peck, I didn't think was atrociously awful. I wouldn't say a flaming piss box on wheels. I thought Hemsworth was very good as you can be trying to replace somebody like Patrick Swayze, who in a role like that is a damn legend. But my problem with Josh Peck is just I didn't like his character. I didn't want his character to survive because he sounds like he has a cold all the time. He always talks like this, and he just looks a little mopey. Yeah. And I don't really want that guy on my team if North Korea is attacking me.
But that's him. Is the fact. First of all, the script.
That's not the way the character was written?
The script is horrendous. It's horrendous.
The script is horrendous.
The cartoon cat. Oh, look at me. I'm going to write the remake of Red Dawn. That's what he did. And I'll tell you, because the thing is, the reason why you didn't like him, because Josh Peck is not likable. Dane Cook, not likable. Josh Peck, not likable.
I like Dane Cook.
Of course you do. Political. I think
he's funny.
Fine. That being said, the movie, it just doesn't work with the relationships, and the writing's horrendous. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. It's atrocious. 1 out of 5 schmoes. It sucks.
I think that you can go to this movie, and I think you can have some fun watching it if you try to get it out of your head that this is actually happening in 2012. Right. You almost need to turn back the clock and say, hey, if this was happening in 1985, I could believe some of this stuff was going on. It's an atrocious script. There's a lot of plot holes, but I did have fun watching it for what it was. 2.25 out of 5 schmoes for this guy.
I'd rather watch Anna Karenina for 12 days straight than watch this movie. So it stinks.
For 12 days straight?
12 days straight.
I could do that. Read Anna Karenina? No, I'm watching Red Dawn.
With no water and a corset.
We want to know what you think, Schmoeville. How about you guys, everybody listening to us right now, and all you guys on movies.com and on our YouTube channel? Please comment and like this video. Yeah. Do you see the remake of Red Dawn? Are you excited to see it, or are you just going to stick with the original?
And were you a fan of the original one? And if you think I'm being too fanboyish, I don't care, because I am.
He is. Hey, how about that?
That was it. That was a Schmoes Know review.
All right. Got a little loose in the middle, but my God, do we know how to wrap up?
You guys got your work done for the night. You can go party afterwards.
Now we got to do another one.
I got a flight to catch to West Palm Beach. I'll be at the Improv all weekend if you guys want to come out.
George McCann, you are incorrect, sir. Do the research, my friend. He says Red Dawn was PG-13 when it came out in '84. Do the research. It was the first rated R film.
Since we're talking Red Dawn, and I don't know if Kenny knows the answer to this or Josh does, you say that Red Dawn was the first rated R film. Yeah. So did all the suits watch the Temple of Doom and say, we're going to give this PG-13, but if another movie like this happens, we're going to have to go higher? Or?
I believe Temple of Doom was the one that kind of started that movement because we told that in the first hour. My dad and mom, who were very restrictive on what movies I could see as a kid, Dad took me to Temple of Doom, and suddenly hearts are being pulled out of bodies, and it was I'm 9 going, ah! And so, yeah, I think that started the movement.
Son of a bitch, I might be wrong.
It is PG-13.
It was the first PG-13 rating.
You know, it's interesting seeing that movie with a fanboy like yourself because again, I didn't see Red Dawn when I was a kid.
Good job, Georgie.
I waited. I didn't see it until I was in college. But man, it was a really fun movie to watch, and even like watching this one. No, the original one. But either one, you kind of watch it and you want to go out in the woods and play some paintball with your buddies. It's got that motivational feel. But I think if you drop some money on this to go see it this weekend or next weekend, I don't think it's going to hurt.
I don't agree.
I
think you can get
silly. You can have silly fun.
I don't
There's
know.
a lot of good stuff coming out, so you got to spend that movie dollar wisely.
That's
very good. You got Rise of the Guardians.
Did you like the original?
I didn't see it. That's what we talked about in the first. I wasn't allowed to see movies in the 80s.
My thing
Top
was,
Gun, don't know what that is.
It just took them so long in the original movie. Like they had to spend months to figure it out, and it was sloppy. Like even towards the end, it was like they were sloppy. These kids in this movie, they pick up how to be Marines in like 6 minutes. Like Patrick Swayze and all those guys. Like there's a scene in the original movie. Do you remember the movie pretty well? The original. Yeah. They're out there and they're just hanging out in the mountains. And like these Russians or the Cubans came out because they wanted like a tourist thing. They didn't know anybody was out there. They weren't looking for them. And then they finally kill these Cubans by accident or whatever, and they feel like what it is to be in war.
Yeah.
And you felt that. And it was just it was the momentum behind it. It wasn't there in this movie. It was so.
It was. I mean, obviously, but you know what? You see them train really quickly in this one. Like they learn how to be somewhat of Marines, or at least really good at your local paintball shack, pretty quickly. But that happens in a lot of movies. That even happens in a movie as good as X-Men First Class, where they go to Xavier's school for what? 4 days, and they've learned how to harness their mutant power. So that can happen, and sometimes you have to suspend some disbelief and not be mad when you see a movie.
It's like when
I think you were mad too early. I think you got
it's like when two characters fall in love in 2 minutes of movies. You just got to get to the plot, and that takes away.
There was so much potential in this movie, and I thought they almost captured it in the beginning. Like that,
I was on board, man.
So was I. And then I'm like, but there's a relationship between Harry Dean Stanton and Patrick Swayze and Charlie Sheen in the original, where he was a asshole to them. You never showed it, but you just knew it. And he just said, the reason I was such a jerk for you is this moment. That's why. Now you know. Yeah. And they had this relationship between the two of them that they just went into action. These two are fighting and bickering like housewives of New Jersey or whatever it is. And it's just like it made me sick to my stomach.
So how do you feel about the movie?
Clearly, you've been amped up since you got here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's been quite. I really am flashing back to the Harloff I met at the Hollywood Improv in about 2005. This is spectacular.
Oh yeah, I knew you walls back then.
No, you didn't know me before. No, I knew of you before, but you wouldn't talk to me for a long time.
Stop.
You were one of those guys. You were in the corner with your New York chai. You sat in the corner with Martini, and you guys would just sit there talking. It wasn't until I was hosting regularly at Room 5, and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the next guy is one of my favorite comics in this town," and he was like, "Thanks." We've been friends ever since.
Did you know you were bringing up Kristian and not Mark Ellis?
I didn't know you at the time. I knew you as the chubby guy with the curly hair at the Comedy Store. That's how I knew you. I didn't know you till grasping at straws.
To be fair, I sat in the back of the Improv all the time. I just sat in the back being like a recluse. That's why it wasn't towards you.
You were. Then we found out we liked G.I. Joe, wrestling, everything else. It kind of came from there.
That's all right. So anyway, let's take a call from Schmoeville.
So cute.
All right, hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
All right, then.
What the hell was that?
Say it again.
Greet him to our program, Kristian. Hi, caller. How are you doing today? What would you like to discuss?
Say that doesn't work.
No. Yeah. You're talking to Dr. Fraser Crane.
Let's try it. Hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Leanne from New Jersey.
What's up, Leanne from New Jersey?
Yes, Dakota. How are you, sweetie?
Do you have power?
Hey guys, yeah, we have power.
Good.
We're good.
Good.
We've been good. We've been good since everything happened. We're awesome.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. So what's up?
Hey, silly thing. With regard to Red Dawn, I remember seeing the original Red Dawn when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I thought one of the coolest parts of the whole movie, and if it can be called cool, was when Tommy Howell finally breaks and becomes like this crazy character.
Yeah. And
I thought that was like the definitive part of the movie.
I almost want.
So I'm wondering if the new one is like that.
No, and I almost want to reshoot the entire review because I forgot that point. Honestly,
do it again.
Josh.
Too late now.
Josh Hutcherson plays that character, and he's fine. But again, it's the writing. But yes, you are absolutely right, Leanne, is the fact that that moment with C. Thomas Howell, when he drinks the deer blood, which they make a damn sham of in this movie.
That was humorous.
Oh, no, they make
Don't even tell me that they redid that. I mean, that totally
they redid
Hollywood
it, but
is
they make a
scraping the
joke.
bottom of the barrel at this point.
They make
they
a
are redoing
joke.
a movie that doesn't need to be touched.
They make a joke out of that deer scene. A joke. That's
sucks.
when they lost me. But the whole thing, you're right. C. Thomas Howell's character in the original movie loses his mind and becomes a soldier of war. And he becomes a Wolverine. That character does not exist.
Yeah, but see, I think with remakes, there's some movies that you shouldn't touch, and I don't think Red Dawn is one that it's this holy grail of films in the '80s that you can't revisit because it's such a cool premise.
I agree.
And
with
whenever
you.
there's another power that threatens America, it's kind of cool to see that cinematically. So if you can pull it off, great. They made an effort. MGM went bankrupt. Let's not forget that this thing happened during the bankruptcy. So they have some problems, but
at the same time, you know what? At the same time, though, I mean, back in the '80s, don't forget it was the big threat was Russia, and it was, I hate to say like a cool threat, but it was a cool threat.
Right.
But now it's you put North Koreans in, and it's almost like
you don't think North Korea is adorable?
What else is there?
But
you're like the Wile E. Coyote at our road.
I want to go back to something that you said. Everything that you said, I 100% agree with.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was just executed horrendously.
Oh.
Because the thing was,
it was. Yeah.
All the stuff that they could do in the movie, like there was elements of this movie that were cool, and it was just, and then there's parts of it, the ass dropped out of it.
Yeah,
and it's just.
But you know what they're doing? They're catering. I hate to say it this way. They're catering to young kids. They want to pack the movies with young kids.
I don't know
and
who
they
they were
think that
catering
they're
to.
putting these really great actors, quote unquote, in there. And the kids are going to follow this blindly.
I agree with
Leanne, Breaking Dawn.
They were catering to hospital victims hitting the head with hammers. That's who they were catering.
Side note, a little less passionate Christian, Josh Hutcherson. How did he do? Because PETA in Hunger Games,
but this had nothing. The only one.
So it wasn't Josh Hutcherson's fault, but it was the other kid, Josh Peck's fault.
Josh Peck is not likable.
Okay,
that character.
It's the casting director's fault.
It's absolutely.
Really?
It's society's fault.
If not likable, you're not going to want to see the movie.
The thing is, though.
Wait,
and
Christian,
I know that I'm in the minority.
Is Tiffany Smith locked in, or can we fly Leanne out here to do a couple episodes? She's pulling her weight around here. Well done.
I'll take the next flight out.
Please do. I'll tell you what, though, and I know this. No one cares about this movie.
We do. We all care, just not as much as you.
Not as much as I do. And
it's like you and Steve Simone.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I know some people, like, I walked out and I was like, this is a travesty. And everyone's like, I don't get it.
I've been told by Luke Schubert at Luke Schubert 32 to leave the studio now and go see it because it's a travesty that I haven't seen the original. The original.
But all right, let's take another call from Schmoeville. Hey, you're Schmoeville. Who we got?
Oh, hey, John here from Staten Island.
Yo, Johnny, what's up, dude?
How you doing in Staten Island, buddy? Everything all right?
Oh, everything's great. We were lucky, very fortunate. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's fun. What's up, man? What are we talking about?
I just want to talk about Red Dawn. I was really lucky and fortunate enough to see this movie in May for some reason. And I'm actually kind of on Mark's part because I didn't hate the movie like you did, Chris, but I do agree that it was really, like, crappy. And Josh Peck, I love him and Drake and Josh, but he sucked in that movie.
Sucked. Like, he brought the movie down. He just wasn't likable.
Yeah, you root against him in the film, and you just whenever you see a movie, like if you're watching like a murder mystery movie, there's that one annoying guy at the dinner party. You're like, I hope that's the guy that gets whacked, so that we can go on and have a good movie.
And he's the integral part of this.
But
story.
I think I don't know Josh Peck's work from anything else, but I think that if you cast anybody in that role, then if you catch the other kid Hutcherson in that role, you would have disliked him. But Josh Peck is not.
No, I don't agree with you. I think if you put, first of all,
he's a douche in the movie. Why
didn't we put Liam Hemsworth in the movie? They look more like brothers
because of the role that he's playing. Because he didn't want to play that to Chris.
Listen, the thing is too, the character could have been likable because it was a big brother and little brother thing. This kid is not likable.
You're not going to replace Charlie Sheen just like that.
Were you a fan of the original?
Well, I actually saw it a year ago, and I really liked it a lot. And yeah, Charlie Sheen and Patrick Swayze, their relationship together, that was the best aspect of the movie.
Right.
And they totally butchered it in this one.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for the call, and I think that you make great points. Thank you so much. Okay. So what do we got? What do you got, Ken? Okay. So we have. What the hell is that? Okay, yes. So Kenny's giving me some stuff to talk about. We should talk about this before we go because he's right, because somebody should talk about this. Kenny.
We're just the guys to do it.
Yes, we should do schmoesknow.com. If you guys have not checked it out, you should, because we have a lot of cool stuff going on. And as much as I break Kenny's chops, he's been doing such a fantastic job of updating the site and putting some new writers on there, which are really, really good. And he has his own column out there on the power rankings. And you want to tell him a little bit about what that's all about?
Every Friday morning, the Napzok Files Power Rankings comes out with the top 5 power positions for the past week. It's not always a human. Sometimes.
Is that a football thing?
It's a kind of a football thing because people like the sports ball, Mark. They like to talk about sports ball.
Yeah.
So it's something I do every Friday morning. But like we talked about a little bit in the first hour, we got some great writers. Brendan T. Gleason's on board. We talked about his article last week.
Gleason's great.
Schmoesknow.com is growing. Please keep checking that out too.
But your power thing, that's like the things that are trending in movies?
It's the last 5 weeks. It goes from podcast to podcast, the top 5. And it's not always a human. Sometimes it can be a concept or a trend.
Did you talk to the kid about getting his thing on?
Not yet. We haven't had the opportunity because we were busy. Oh, yeah. Josh, the intern, publicly, I'd like to offer you a position on the Schmoes Know website as one of our news writers. Would you like to accept
Josh,
that
can you wear a tie to an interview once in a while? Jesus.
I accept this honor.
Okay, well, what we'd like you to do, did you ask him already?
We haven't got into it. So this is
give me a ride to the airport. My flight leaves at 1:20 a.m. tonight.
Well, one of the things that we don't have on the site is someone who's constantly updating the story, the biggest movie stories from the week.
That's tough to do. Yeah.
So we need something, whether it be on like a Thursday or something too, just like the top stories of the week and letting everybody know in Schmoeville. So again, schmoesknow.com. Check that out. And we'll have Josh the intern on there too.
What a ride this kid's had, man.
Yeah,
He's met
seriously.
Russell Brand, Eric Idle, Billy Connolly, stared at Marion Cotillard. Roddy Piper punched him in the face. Katee Sackhoff has given him money to buy beer. She's hugged him. She shared headphones with him. And now we're going to make him a full-fledged writer on the site.
Quite an extensive resume you got here, Josh.
Just like
Lucky
Jacob,
guy.
he imprinted on her. All right, so we
for 2 years, Harloff wouldn't say my first name in the comedy world.
No problem, Frank. All right, so hey, you're in Schmoeville. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Matt.
Hey Matt, what's up, dude? What do you got?
Nothing. I'd like to bring it back to what you were saying before about those trolls that you got.
Yeah.
Are you
trolls.
Are you one or you hate them?
No, I'm not a troll, but there's a movie I'd like to bring up. I'm definitely not a troll. Big fan. Big for a while, calling almost every week.
Yeah.
Sent you quite a few posters.
Oh, okay, Matt Brown.
But,
don't accuse guys of being trolls, McCarthy. Let them come in.
All right. Oh, I don't know.
This is Matt Brown on. Yeah, that's me.
Who just did a big? He just did you as James Bond. The old Pierce Brosnan.
That was a good one, Matt. Thanks a lot, dude.
I'm in the back looking like a Smurf.
Where you belong.
I know. I tried to squeeze you in there, but
I appreciate it.
Keep them coming like that.
Up, there was a big movie this year that you guys loved, and I thought was one of the worst of the year.
I know what it is.
I couldn't understand why.
I know what you're going to say before you even say it. And the reason I know he's going to say this is because my brother just called me and said the same exact thing.
Is it Lincoln?
No, and this creep with the backwards hat is going to say the same thing, too.
What?
The Amazing Spider-Man. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought this up because I have so many problems with that movie.
You go ahead, Matt.
And I think Josh, the intern, was with me on this, but I thought it was.
Yes, I am, brother.
He's got fans.
There was so much wrong with it, and I know people love it because it was true to the comics or whatever, but I don't think that excuses poor pacing, bad writing, boring characters, undeveloped characters, completely dropping plot lines. It really bugged me.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you real quick before I know we have to wrap it up, but I just want to show you what my here's what my brother said. He said, so I hated it. Everything about it. The movie I didn't like. The CGI sucked. The bad guy was terrible. The dialogue was terrible. All seemed very hurried. I can't think of one aspect that I thought was better than the previous Spider-Man. The whole relationship with Spider-Man and the girl was so overdone. She helped him with everything. It was annoying.
Wow, I enjoyed the ride.
So, all right, well, thank you, Matt.
All right,
thank you, Matt. Yeah, so, I mean, look, that's the thing. That's a whole other conversation. But all right, we're out.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yes, and we may have a special guest, we may not. We'll figure it all out. Follow us, facebook.com/Schmoes Know. Get all the updates. Facebook.com, SK Podcast, at Schmoes Know, at Cospan, at Josh the Intern. Buy Mark CD, get to the castle.
Thank you for doing so already. Love you guys.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys soon. And tweet Zack Snyder.